Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. It is Manchester United versus Colchester United in the Carabao Cup. So how are we all doing? I hope you're doing very, very well. We're live, and that's all that matters at the end of the day, that we're actually live. I've got my glasses on because I'm feeling tired, so I'll probably keep them on for the duration, but we'll see how we go. How are we all doing anyway? I hope you're doing very, very well. A week today, we'll all be stuffed by a turkey in our tummy, not the other way. That would be just, we don't want to talk about stuff like that. It's Christmas. But team news is in. It's been in for a few minutes, actually. It's been in for 11 minutes. Romero in goal, Young, Twansebi, Maguire, Shaw, Matic, Andreas, Greenwood, Mata, Rashford, Martial. Quite a strong team then, so I've got to change it. I'm a little bit perplexed by this team, if I'm absolutely honest with you. I think he's gone a little bit too strong. Some might say he's bottled it, but they might do. So I've got to change the team because, as you can see, my predicted lineup is a little bit different to the way I thought he would go. Ashley Young obviously is captain. I've got to change quite a lot with this. Ollie, you've let me down here. What are you doing, Ollie? Ollie, what are you doing? This team is not what I was predicted at all. I thought you'd go very, very different to this. So Luke Shaw's in at left back. I mean, I think he's just compensating. I don't know what he's compensating for, but I think he's compensating. So would be Matic and Andreas as the midfield too, which clearly doesn't work. But let's not forget, we are playing a team that's not very good. And I say that in the factual sense that they are a League 2 side, so they're not going to be that good. No place for Lingard then, so it's Rashford, Martial and Mata with Greenwood. So I presume Greenwood's... Ollie, you've really messed me up today. I'll tell you what, I was all set and ready. The team he's picked is just crazy. Like, I'm not in a bad way, I'm just somewhat surprised by it. I thought we'd see a very, very different team to this. I didn't think, we've got an option. But then again, what I would say is that he's going to potentially pick a lot of these players. If we get to a semi-final, he'll go strong, won't he? So but they've had a lot of games as well. They've had a lot of games, these United lads, lately. So I'm a little bit surprised. What do you think, boys and girls? Do you think that it's a good thing or a bad thing? And I must just say, boys and girls is very, very, very apt tonight because the Colchester, that's where Blur are from. Blur are from Colchester. So streets like a jungle, so call the police. Following the hood down to Greece on holiday, napping the night. And that's enough of Blur. But Blur are from Colchester. It could be a bit of a blur for United. I don't think it will. I think we've picked a very, very strong side for United tonight, and I think we'll be absolutely fine. That's my feeling. But obviously, I want to check what you're feeling tonight as well. I want to know how you're feeling about this United side. I don't think you can ever go too strong, can you? Does Martial and Rashford play mean Ollie's trying to win the Carabao Cup, says Michael Mearstar? Well, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would love to win the Carabao Cup. Of course he would. And I think that, who can blame him for wanting to win the Carabao Cup? But what I would say is that this is a League 2 side. I'm a little bit surprised as to how strong we've got, but I'm not in a moan about it. And Ernest Tablet says, very impressed with Ole recognising it. It was James that had to be dropped because with all Martial's issues, he's the only one who can hold the ball up. Yeah, I mean, look, that's your team then. No, I mean, positives, no McTominay and Fred, and I think that the midfield is a weak spot for United in relation to depth, so I've got the team wrong again. Why have I got that team wrong? Oh, no, I haven't. I've got it right. I've got it right now. So Pereira will play with Matic and Mata in what is a totally shit midfield, but it should be fine for a League Two side. And then you've got Rashford, Martial and Greenwood as a front three. That back four is strong. Twansibi's very good. Luke Shaw plays. I just think we're going to be way too strong for Colchester tonight. I mean, I thought that for Colchester to have any chance, then you needed to see United playing Phil Jones, Brandon Williams, Garner, and nothing against those players apart from Phil Jones, obviously. But I think that we'll have too much. Mark, I tried the card trick on Manan from going for Goldbridge, says Daniel. Did it work? How do we watch the match, Mark, says Kane Harris. Very interesting. I only realised this half an hour ago that the game is not on in the UK. It's just ridiculous. But if you've got MUTV like I have, you have got radio commentary, so that's what I'll be doing. Did you say we're way too strong? This team can bottle anything, says Landing Badgie. But I think I did say that. And this team is stronger than if it was Matic and Garner and Mata, Pereira and Lingard and Greenwood, Williams, Jones, Twansebi and Young. That's a weaker team. So I think we've gone with quite a strong team. It is. That midfield is awful, says Stephen Stevenson. Yeah, but I still think it'll have... I mean, you're talking about internationals. You know, Matic is a Serbian international. Mata's played, he's won everything. So... I think we'll be strong. Giorgio B says, who's on the bench? Very, very good point. Let me have a quick look for you. So Grant's on the bench. Jones, Williams, Garner, Lingard, McTominay and Chong. So again, it's not a very strong bench really, but I don't think we'll be looking to score goals, hopefully. Hopefully that bench will be fine. So it's a very strong team, says Zed Jamie. Yep, it is. And I think I tell you what, I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see how it goes. 8 o'clock kickoff, of course. So let's have a see how it goes. I'm intrigued to see how it's going to go. So let's have a look at some of your live comments. I mean, look, the big thing for me is no Angel Gomez, and I think this is something we do need to spend a minute on at least, because I think in relation to Angel Gomez, he looks the youth are ready but can't start versus Colchester, says Tom Davies. Is there any youth starting tonight? Greenwood? I mean, Greenwood's a once in a generational talent though, so it doesn't really take any bit of risk from Ollie to do that, and he has just scored 2 goals at the weekend. So 1 goal at the weekend and 2 goals in the week before that. So no, I mean, look, I'm disappointed about Angel Gomez, and I don't think I've really had a chance to speak on the United stand about it, and I don't know how you feel, but no Angel Gomez, not part of the squad, not injured. The rumour is that he's not going to sign a contract with Manchester United, so United have stopped playing him. Some people would take that as, well, if he doesn't want to sign a contract, let him go. But I do think that with regards to the way it's going to go, I just think that this is another indication of Manchester United handling contracts wrong. And I think people blur the lines. Blur's going to be used a lot. Blur from Colchester. Streets like a jungle. Anyway, but people blur the lines here between their loyalty to Ollie and the ineptitude of Ed Woodward. And look at contracts at Manchester United over the last 2 to 3 years, and they're shocking. Our contract renewals are a joke. De Gea and Martial went very, very late in theirs. Herrera walked. Mata was out of contract and we just kept him. Fellaini was out of contract and at the last minute we kept him. Loads of players' contracts get left very, very late. And then we are shocked and surprised when talent leaves Manchester United. Now, and I describe Ander Herrera as talent because I think we've missed Ander Herrera this season. And I describe Angel Gomez as talent. I mean, United, unfortunately, and everybody needs to accept this, and SS9 says we've gone way too strong tonight, which we'll talk about in a moment, but everybody needs to accept this. Manchester United, when it comes to contracts, are a bloody joke, and we shouldn't forget this. We let contracts run down and then expect players to sign them. And if you did well at your job, or you were an up-and-coming talent, and you've known that your contract's running down for 2 years and the club don't want to talk to you unless it's the last few months, well, woe behold me if I actually start looking elsewhere. So it's totally and utterly about Manchester United's ineptitude in dealing with our current squad. Forget recruiting players, forget selling players, Our contract renewals across the whole squad has been a joke, a bloody joke, and a bloody big joke for a very long time. Clearly, he's giving the team winning goals momentum. We didn't win at the weekend, Phil Mearholes, just to let you know. Contracts are down to the banker, says Michael Jones. Yep, the banker that begins with W. I'm not calling him that name. I mean, his name's Woodward. That's a good line from now on. Our chairman, the banker that begins with W. It works both ways. It works both ways. Yes, we like that. Well done. Although you didn't really come up with the line, I did, but you did serve it up. Haaland sounding like it might get done, but unfortunately the buyout is only for RB Leipzig by all accounts. Says VK Dean. Okay. Mark, please reply. Would Ericsson and Haller be good? Haller from bloody West Ham, says Ilya Stevenson. I don't know what you're on about. Please do smash a like on the video anyway, and subscribe to the channel if you're new, because very interesting. If you look in the top right hand corner, we're on 598,000 subscribers, right? We can hit 599 today, and we all, United, we love the 99. So please do subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get to 600,000 subscribers for Christmas, which we all share together because this is our community. It's the United Stand. We've built it up from nothing. You get plonkers who come on and go, it's not everybody's community, it's Mark's community. Well, they've not been watching for 5 years. We started off with 10 people watching and we've grown together. And we have meetups and we have call-ins and we have fan cams. It is a fan-run community. So £600,000 by Christmas would be lovely. I'd love to give it you to all. But 600,000 subscribers would be great. Please subscribe. Please share the video, and I will tell you that you've got 3 Christmas presents from Santa Goldbridge to come. One was meant to be today. It'll probably be tomorrow, so keep an eye out on Twitter, and I will tell you on here tomorrow anyway. That's present 1. You've got another one on Christmas Day morning from Santa Goldbridge. It'll be up on the channel, and there's a third one as well. You'll just have to wait out for that surprise as well. So we've got some Christmas presents for you. A hat trick. It's football. Strong team to practice against the low block, says Ashley GR. That's an interesting thing. Greenwood hat trick incoming, says Neymar Jr. I mean, I personally think now that that's the team, which I mean, a few people have said, let's ask the question: do you think it's too strong for Manchester United tonight? And Emily Moncur says, I'm from Colchester, but I'm a United supporter. Who should I support tonight? Manchester United. If you support United, don't matter where you're from. That's your team. And Hawkeye Sufi says, is Greenwood playing right, and is the team too strong? I personally think that we're going to play a little bit like Ollie's team played in the first 3 months. I think Matic will hold the midfield on his own, with Pereira playing in the Herrera role and Matic playing in the Pogba role, and I think there'll be fluidity between the front 3. So yeah, I think that's the way it will go, to be honest with you. Are the United Stand coming to Ireland in 2020? Says 00100 Daniel. Yes, they are. Hopefully around February time. And Mark Goldbridge is a god. Says Ollie is a likeable guy, but he's a prat. Dear. And Robert Brennan says, judging by the United Stand growth, you should hit 1 million subs by October the 27th next year. That's very accurate. Let's try and remember that. And 20 times, says Morno Joara. My prediction is that Manchester United, Bobby here asked my prediction, so everyone else can put theirs in as well. My prediction is that United will win this 3 or 4-0 tonight. I've probably given it the kiss of death, but I don't think I have. I think that this is a straightforward tie. You've got Aston Villa in the semi-finals. You've got Everton or Leicester playing tonight, and you've got Man City are going to beat Oxford, aren't they? So, I mean, Man City are probably going to win this tournament. We have beaten Man City, so we have got a chance. And I think, ideally, a Man City-Man United final would be quite interesting, wouldn't it? But Michael Mairstar says, do you think that Martial and Rashford are playing because long-term this is the front 3 Ollie wants and tonight is practice? Could be. You'd expect them all to play on Sunday as well. And it's not quite like the Carabao Cup, is it? The Europa League, when you play Thursday night, then you've got to play Sunday. We've got an extra day's rest. So, yeah. Eric Camel says it's too strong. Well, let's analyse that for a little bit. I mean, is that team too strong? Romero in goal? Well, no, he's the reserve goalkeeper. Ashley Young at right back? No, he's the reserve because Wan-Bissaka's the first teamer. Twansebi? No, because Lindelof has been a first teamer. So, it's those first 3 positions are correct. Maguire, To me, I don't know why Harry Maguire's playing tonight. I'll put my hands up and say, as we go through the team, I don't know whether you agree with me or not, but why is Harry Maguire playing? He seems to have played a hell of a lot of football since we've signed him. Like, even Gareth Southgate, when he was on England duty, said he'd played too much football, and he hasn't stopped playing for us. I think the only game he didn't play was Kazakhstan. Didn't he play against AZ Alkmaar last week? He's played at the weekend, he's played today. I think he's struggling for form. I keep saying this, and I said it on the preview yesterday. I'm not a fan of Phil Jones, but if you give him a 5-year contract, why can't you play him at home against Colchester? I just don't get it. So I wouldn't have played Harry Maguire tonight. Luke Shaw is a 50-51. I'm happy he's playing because I think he needs game time, but I don't get why Brandon Williams is not playing. Because I don't think Brandon Williams is going to play against Watford, so I don't really, and I don't think Young will, so I think Luke Shaw is going to play 2 games in a row. However, I do think what people forget about Luke Shaw is he's coming back from a very long time out. He's been out since August. He's only his second week of games, so match fitness is probably quite important for Luke Shaw, so I don't have a problem with that. Matic was always going to play. Pereira and Mata were always going to play. And then the front I think the front three again. I don't think I would have played Rashford tonight. I don't get why Rashford's playing, to be honest with you. Martial, look, yeah, all right, play one of them, but I wouldn't have played Martial and Rashford. I think that what's the point in having Tahith Chong if you're not going to play him, and obviously Angel Gomez. Will this be Matic's swan song, says Charlie Welsh? I wouldn't have thought so. I think with the amount of games we've got coming up over Christmas, if you think about it, we've got Watford on Sunday, then we've got Boxing Day against Newcastle, then 2 days later we're playing Burnley, and then 3 days after that we're playing Arsenal, and then I think we're playing Wolves at the weekend in the Cup. So there's a lot of games. So I do think that we'll see Matic play again. I'd love him to go in January though. We don't have a backup for front three, says Juan Lee. Williams should be playing, says Master Key. And in January, I reckon we pick up Eriksen and Haaland. Eriksen's not my first choice, but will add much needed creativity to our midfield, says Dylan O'Driscoll. They're playing because they need goals, says Orlando Anglin. And Ollie is experimenting with this team. Front three is the key to unlock low block teams, says Big Z. Well, it's not. You're wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not normally that blunt, but you're wrong. The front three isn't how you unlock a low block. That's not how you unlock a low block. Of course, your front three can unlock a low block, but your front three will be occupied by the 2 banks of 4. You unlock a low block through your midfield, so it's going to be Mata and Pereira, to be fair, who I don't think are good enough. WH13 says, remember Woodward is to blame for the contracts. Ollie picks the team. Yes, he is. He's the banker with the W. And I fear, because his name's Woodward, I fear another bad game with a late win their goal, says Jenks1102. I mean, look, there's no excuses for not smashing these tonight with a team like that. And Nick P says, on the plus side, Maguire and Twansebi is a partnership we all want to see develop. Hope they combine well tonight. Well, you know what, to be honest with you, I've got to be very honest here. I think Lindelof's been very good. I think Lindelof's been our better centre-back for the last 3 weeks. And I know that's not popular because there's a lot of people that don't like Lindelof, but that goal he conceded at the weekend wasn't his fault, and I think he's been our best centre-back for the last 3 games. So there you go. Freddie's going to be player manager confirmed, Mark, says Yernan. I don't know what you're on about. And why is this team looking like a really good team, says King Caribbean. Mate, have you looked at the midfield? Front three's good. In fact, have you looked at the whole team, mate? This is not looking like a good team at all. The front three looks good, the midfield looks crap, and the back 4 is, well, there's 2 players in there I'd get rid of. Mark, why are there so many agendas in our fan base? It's really frustrating, says McCarthy. I don't know, but look, I'm not going to pretend my farts don't smell. I'm not a fan of Jones, I'm not a fan of Young, I'm not a fan of Matic, I'm not a fan of Mata, I'm not a fan of Pereira, I'm not a fan of Lingard. To be fair, Pereira and Lingard, I just want them to do well. I'm not saying sell them, but the other 4 I am. What if we bottle this game? Does Ollie go? Says Sully Beji. No. And Zane Scopes with the Lindelof Iceman face says he's been very liable in the air, but when he has to defend low balls, he's great. And since this team is League 2 side, do you think it will help the players learn how to break down the smaller teams? Says Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Well, you should figure that out yourself, Ollie, but in all seriousness, yes, it is a good opportunity for that. You know, a week today, it's Christmas Day, by the way. A week today, it will be 7:15 on Christmas Day night. What will you be doing? I tell you what, I'll be saying, get the turkey sandwiches out. Oh, haven't you had too much dinner? No, it's the one night of the year where you can have a nice buffet with turkey sandwiches and some stuffing on it. Get them out. Get them out. Why don't you get it? Because I'm sat here relaxing, having a few beers, and it's Christmas Day night now. Go and get the stuff. Is there anything we can do as a fan base and a united community to force Woodward and the Glazers out? Best thing we can do for our club, says Shaveen Pinto. Well, of course there is, but it just wouldn't be done. It wouldn't be done. I heard we are supposed to get a tactical director, says Jelani Jeffers, Jordi Cruyff. I haven't looked into that at all. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock. Expert King, it's at 13. Loca Chopper says, got another word that rhymes with banker that could be used for the nickname. Banker Woodward with a W. Mark, have you been watching the Club World Cup, says Mason Smith. I haven't. But I'll tell you what, I will do. I will have a quick look at the scores at the moment. So, 0-0 with Monterrey. Isn't that a sauce you put on your steak? Yeah, it looks like Liverpool are going to draw that then. There's got to be a tweet in that. See if we get a bite. See if we get a bite. That's all I'm going to say. I don't even know where Monterrey is. I've got no idea. It's a silly tournament, to be honest with you. They've just gone and scored. See, that's one thing about Liverpool, isn't it? To be fair, I know we all hate it, but Liverpool have got this ability to just keep going and winning late on in games. They're very, very, very good at it, as we all know. I'm not deleting. I've just quote tweeted. I don't delete my tweets. You've got to live by the sword, haven't you? You know, if you make a mistake, you just own it. That's what you do. Will Manchester United finish top 4, Mark? Says Johannes Anderson. I don't think so. And it's in Mexico, says Todd Blank. Mark, I have been watching you for 2 years now and I never had a comment read. I've tried for nearly every show, so please reply. Do you think Maguire is an expensive flop, says Michael Corcoran? Well, I've definitely said that name before. And I do jinx everything. You're right, Harvey Dean. So don't listen to what I say. Or if I say something's not going to happen, put a bet on it. I do think Haaland's coming to Manchester United, by the way, Sports Centre. But let me just answer that question from Michael Corcoran. So, do I think Harry Maguire has been an expensive flop? Well, Leicester fans have been saying, do you want a refund? No, I like Harry Maguire. And I think what people don't realise is that we're on 598,500 subscribers. So we need to get 500 subscribers tonight to get up to 599. We're on that road to 600,000 subscribers for Christmas. So please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner and share the video. That would be great. But yeah, so look, I don't think Harry Maguire's been an expensive flop. I think Harry Maguire is a good player. I just think that if you look at Vidic and you look at Ferdinand and you look at most new signings that come to most big clubs, it does take a little bit of time to settle down. Even Van Dijk at Liverpool didn't immediately go in and be world class. So I think that you've got to bear in mind that, and I also think that Ashley Young ain't going to get any stronger. I also think that Harry Maguire will become stronger for the experiences he's been through. He's been a captain. He's a good player, Harry Maguire. The more interesting question I would ask is, how good do you think Harry Maguire can be? I don't think he's going to be a flop. I think he's too good to be a flop. But he ain't going to be Van Dijk quality. He's not going to be Van Dijk quality. He's not going to be Vidic quality. He's not going to be Ferdinand quality. Can he be Steve Bruce quality? Well, Steve Bruce was pretty good, and a lot of you won't remember that. So it's more about the level that he's going to be. Koulibaly might be available. Would you go for him, says Sean Atwood? Well, I wanted Koulibaly in the summer. I don't see Manchester United looking at that Koulibaly signing now. And Flex47 says, honest opinion, I don't think Maguire is that good. Definitely not worth £80 million. Well, he is and he isn't. Maguire is Smalling 2.0, says Nash. You see, Maguire now is starting to get this agenda that fan was talking about below. Previously, sorry. We're Manchester United Football Club, and we do like to make scapegoats of our own players. Now, I don't. People will say, rubbish, but I'm one of the few who likes Luke Shaw. I've always stuck with Martial. I like Paul Pogba. I like Rashford. The players I don't like are crap. Now, people would say, well, that's your agenda. You just think they're crap. But look at the players I haven't liked and have had an agenda against. Marouane Fellaini, well, he worked out well. Lukaku, he worked out well. Matic, he's not worked out well. Ashley Young, not worked out well. Mata, I'm talking about, they have become crap and I don't think they're going to get any better. Phil Jones. So, yeah, I've got agendas against players, but they're based on the fact that they're crap. And some of you might say, well, I think Harry Maguire's crap, and that is your right. But I genuinely, I do think he will get better and better. I think it's more about how good he will be. He's never going to be our Van Dijk. He's never going to be another Vidic. He's never going to be a top-class Manchester United centre-back. I think he'll be a good centre-back. Charles Crane says, I don't think I agree with playing Martial and Rashford. Would rather have seen Chong or Gomez get in the team. I think many of us do agree with you on that one. Maguire is still our best centre-back. I would argue with that. I've said this before, so I don't want to repeat myself, but I do actually think that over the last 3 to 4 weeks since the last international break, that I think that the best defender has been Lindelof. I really do. I do, and I know that won't affect. That will hurt some people because they have their agendas. But I genuinely do. I think he's been really, really good. And look, he has a weakness in the air. I think we all know that. But is that not what Harry Maguire's at Manchester United to do? Harry Maguire is at Manchester United to deal with that specific issue. But we're zonal marking, and I've said this is a problem. Why do we zonal mark at Manchester United? And that's something I would keep an eye on today. If there are any corners, watch whether Manchester United pick up players or pick up a space. Mark Whitten, please tell me this game is televised. Just home from work, mate. Sorry for the interruption. Mark, I wish I could. It's not. Mark, I'm not a United fan, but I'm gunning for your 600k. Up the gas, says Thomas Hodgkinson. Yeah, please do share the video. If you have subscribed, which is bottom right hand corner, please do share the video. There's a share button underneath. Share it, and then we'll hopefully you can share it on Twitter and Facebook, and we'll hopefully get more people. Bloody hell. Delit's got a picture with him and his missus. Christmas dinner, he's called it. Rude. Filth. That's filth. Look, see if I can show you. That's the picture of him and his missus. And then he's put Christmas dinner and a bush. Oh no, it's a tree. Anyway, he's eating something. Christmas. Yeah, he's eating something tonight. He's eating his Christmas dinner. Mourinho win the league or DT win Blood Brothers, says Cody Almeida. All I would say about that is, one, I don't really care. Two, look at the way a proper man handles a defeat. And three, the story's not over. Why do you think I'm not bothered? The story is definitely not over. Keep an eye on. And website soon, says the United Stand, is ruining the present. And Mark, this January, would you rather get rid of all the deadwood and make no signings, or make 2 signings for the midfield, says Owen Van Straten. But, you say you get rid of the deadwood. I think there has to be an acknowledgement as Manchester United fans right now that, are we going to get rid of the deadwood? Are we going to get rid of the deadwood? I don't know what deadwood we're talking about, because Phil Jones has signed a long-term contract. Andreas Pereira has signed a long-term contract. Lingard is about to sign a long-term contract. So you can't... Getting rid of the deadwood, as you say, isn't going to happen, because... So I would rather get the midfielders, if I'm honest with you. That's what I would rather do, because we're not going to get rid of that deadwood that we think the deadwood is. I think Ashley Young will go in the summer. I think that's destined to happen, and that's a good thing. But other than that, I don't think so. El Clasico is on, Stephen Stevenson. I did realise that, but obviously as a United fan, I cannot watch it because the United Stand cannot be the channel that does watch-alongs on US tours at 3 o'clock in the morning and goes out to Kazakhstan for a meaningless game and then not do a Carabao Cup quarter-final. So look, I would like to have been doing a watch-along for El Clasico on That's Football, but United is our team and that's what we'll be covering. Christopher Patrick, like, at the end of the day, that's a really smug thing to say. And what I would say is, can you please tell me where it says that that every one of them gets read out? What's your thoughts with the lack of youth tonight, says Christopher Patrick. Well, if you turned up on time, Christopher, you'd know what I thought about that, so I'm not going to answer your question because you were so pedantic with your other comment. But in seriousness, you know, I don't hold a grudge, Pratt, but no, I'm joking. Well, you know, Mason Greenwood starting and Twan Sebi is starting, so that's an element of youth. I think Brandon Williams should have started. I would like to have seen James Garner started as well. I'm a little bit surprised those two haven't started. The front three, I think my predicted team was, I thought he'd play Lingard, Greenwood and Pereira, and then Matic and Garner, which in that front six position, there's enough experience to go with Greenwood and Garner. So I think he's gone a little bit too strong, but I think what you need to realise about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I say this in the nicest possible way, he is absolutely terrified of losing a big game and he overcompensates in the big games. I mean, Rochdale, he played Pogba for 90 minutes, so we shouldn't be surprised that he... But he does leave himself exposed if they don't then do well. If you go too strong and you don't do well, you look even more silly. What are you most concerned about in this game, says Alex Nielsen? I'll tell you what, I'm not actually concerned. I'm not. I've got to be honest with you. Why the squad's off-ball movement while we're attacking so poor that no one is moving to create spaces? Everyone is just standing there doing nothing, says Chikorito Hernandez. I like the name. And Haaland is having Dortmund medical tomorrow, says Voice of the North. Look, can I just ask people about this? When Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did his press conference on Sunday after the Everton game, and he was asked about being in Salzburg on Friday, and he said, I've spoken to him, he knows what he wants to do, and so do I. That, to me, and Ole defenders have gone, well, he didn't say he was coming. And I was like, oh, come on. Everybody on Twitter on Sunday night was like, deal done. Ole's dropped the biggest hint in the world. And I agree with that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on Sunday dropped a massive hint that Haaland was coming to United. If Haaland now signs for Dortmund, I don't even know what to believe out of Ole anymore. Because why, if you know? So Ole says he knows what he wants to do and so do I, right? Or he knows where he's going and so do I. So if he said he's going to Dortmund, why would Ole drop a big sort of bomb of hope? You would just say, we're not interested, or that's not a deal we're looking at. So he has to be coming to United. Otherwise, that Ole press conference discussion about Haaland on Sunday makes zero sense. And maybe on Sunday we thought we had him, but we've missed out on him, which shows I just think it shows an ineptitude from Manchester United if we don't sign Haaland. One, because, I mean, Stephen Lynch says it wasn't really a hint. Well, that's your interpretation. For me, it was a huge hint. So, sorry, Stephen. I thought it was a huge hint. You might not, but I thought it was. And a lot of people did. So what I would say is that if he didn't sign for us, and I do think he will, two things have gone wrong there. One, Ole still doesn't know how to handle the press in relation to transfers, because let's not forget he did say you'll be surprised at the quality of players that want to sign for us in May. That never happened either. Or two, on Sunday Ole thought he'd got him, and things have changed since then because Woodward's messed it up. So, you know, that would be my thoughts about that. Christopher Anderson says Mark is never wrong. Yes, he is. And don't want Haaland anyway, says JC Music. Well, it'll be interesting to see. Young's quality player. He got 3 Player of the Month rewards in 2008, says Corey Wilson. Where's Gomez, says Mark Dat Volta. Old man Mata gets in. Nice to see him playing the youth like he speaks about. You know what? I think that's a really good tweet, and I'm going to use it. So I won't use it word for word. But yeah, I'd put that on Woodward. Contract renewals. Right, let's have a look where we are at. See to my live comments. Okay, we've had a super chat coming in from Alexander 12332 iffy. He says, "You're unrelated, but I was looking at the under-23s Play 2 standings, and apparently United are in the second division. Can someone explain why we're not in the first division?" Says Alexander. I would imagine because we got relegated at some point. I know the under-23s were struggling a couple of years ago. And Chris Fairbrother says, "I don't understand how we get rid of a player for free, then spend 90 million for him." Talking about Pogba. And Humi says, "Evening, mates. Been nice to have a relaxing, enjoyable evening with the game. Nice and easy, no dramas. Massively strong lineup, isn't it? Bit shocked." Yeah, you're not the only one, pal. You're not the only one who's a little bit surprised about the United team. But as you say, it should be a walk in the park. It doesn't mean it will be a walk in the park for United, but it should be a walk in the park. And I hope that it is. I mean, look, what I would say, and I was saying this to Flex, January can be a month full of hope as you go into a new year. But if you think about the last 2 Januaries for Manchester United, the last 2 Januaries we've not signed anybody, and last year we weren't in the Carabao Cup, were we? So there are no midweek games in January. The midweek games kick in February when the Europa League comes back. But if we're in a Carabao Cup semi-final, that means we get 2 midweek games in January as well. So, and also you're 1 game away from Wembley. So I expect us to get through. I hope we get through, and yeah, that's where we're at. Lindelof is very underrated, isn't he? Says Irish lad. I do like Lindelof, and I think that he does get a little bit of unfair stick, to be honest with you. Does that midfield have the creativity to break down 2 blocks of 4 marks? Says Greg Lester. I don't know anything about Colchester. They're a mid-table League 2 side. If they went on a losing streak, they would get relegated to non-league football. That's how low they are. Jordan Such says, "Mark, to be fair, if Ollie came out and said Sancho knows where he's going to end up, it doesn't mean it's Manchester United, even though we would all love it to be the case." No, Jordan, and no, it doesn't. But it's a silly thing for a manager to say if they're not coming to you. If I'm Manchester United manager tonight and there's suddenly a buzz that Jadon Sancho is leaving in January, and somebody says, "Ollie, are you, or Mark, as the United manager, are you after Jadon Sancho?" And I say, "I'm not going to say anything about it, but I know where he's going, and so does Jadon." Like, it's going to make United fans think, "Oh, well, if Ollie knows where he's going and he's not a United player," what I would say is, if I knew he was going to Dortmund and not coming to Manchester United, I would say, look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to comment on other clubs' players and where they might be moving to. And then you've killed it. But to say, I know where he's going, and so does he, why does the Manchester United manager have to say he knows where a player's going if they're not coming to Manchester United? It just breeds. It's just it's an inexperience which we all we're not criticising Ollie here. He is inexperienced. It's an inexperienced handling of what is a huge brand in Manchester United. You've got to be, and I sympathise with Ollie. I think this is, you go from Cardiff to Mulder, or Mulder to Cardiff to Mulder, and then suddenly you're dealing with the media in relation to the biggest football club in the world. And I think sometimes he wraps himself up he sends himself down avenues that just don't materialise. With this lineup, it should be a goal fest, says Mark Rollinson. And Joe Daniel says, "We need a good off-the-bench striker like Chicharito or Ollie. If you really want to go that far behind, Haaland's ego is too big for him to play that role," says Joe Daniel. Okay. And Haaland wants first-team football. Greenwood says, "If Ollie's at the wheel, what does he drive? A cross." And inexperience at 46 years age with 10 years in management, says Frank Damali. Yeah, but he's in it. Yeah, but that's a little bit unfair. I mean, look at David Moyes. He had loads of experience and Manchester United swallowed him up. Eddie Howe's got loads of experience at Bournemouth. He gets swallowed up by the job. I will stick up for Ollie on that. You are going to, it doesn't matter how long you've been in management. Manchester United is a huge club, and I think that it's unfair to say that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should be good because he's been in management for 10 years. This is a totally different job for him. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we're trying to get that number up to 599,000 subscribers tonight. And also please do share the video as well. We are getting very, very close to 10,000 people watching on this Carabao Cup night. And what else? Let me come back to you there. Daniel Brinley says, I know we mention a director of football often, but do you think a proper modern assistant to Ole is also required to help tactically? I'm not actually, I'm just going to tell the truth. Do I think Mike Phelan and Michael Carrick and Paul McKenna, that's the bloody one who tells you to go to sleep and wakes you up as a cow, isn't it? He'd be quite good. Go to sleep, Jesse Lingard, and when you wake up, you're going to be Lionel Messi. He was one of those psychics. That's not who we've got as a coach. I don't know how good they are individually, but collectively, I think they don't help Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think Mike Phelan is an assistant coach that got Hull relegated and worked under Sir Alex Ferguson and was good then, but it was a long time ago. I think Michael Carrick is an very good footballer who has got no pedigree and has been thrown into a job with Mourinho and Ole, and I haven't seen enough. It's very hard to judge a coaching staff without watching them coach. But I remember United scoring a header against Watford, funnily enough, last season, and it was one of the crappiest headers I've ever seen. I don't even know if it was a header. I think it was Smalling who scored it. Ashley Young lofted it up to the back post. I think Fellaini nodded it down and Smalling volleyed it in. And they all were high-fiving and pumping and fist-pumping on the sideline, Mourinho and Carrick and McKenna. And I was like, that's obviously something they've worked on the training ground, and they're massively proud of that. Ashley Young lofting it to the back post for Fellaini to head it down and Smalling to volley it in. And I was like, that's the sort of thing you'd try and do on a Sunday morning when you're all hungover in pub football. So I worry about the coaching technical ability of our coaches because they're all massively inexperienced. But if I had to look at it from an outsider and a couple of things I've been told, Manchester United football is the biggest football club in the world. It's huge. Like, you cannot understand the enormity of the club and the amount of people that work for the club, not only at Old Trafford but at Carrington. It's huge. But I feel since Ollie's come in, the club has started to overlook talent for jobs for the boys and girls. People that are mates with people that have been at the club before. This obsession with bringing in players that have been playing at the club before, when you're probably ignoring, one of the best assistant coaches in the world from a Valencia. And I'm not saying Valencia have got one, but you know what I mean? There might be a 40-year-old assistant at Valencia who is going to be the best assistant in the world. But we won't get him because we're going to nurture somebody who used to play for our club. And I think it surprises me, and I'm glad that we're talking about it in the preview because I think we'll have the hardcore people watching, and I wanted to mention this at some point. It really surprises me with Manchester United, and I saw Sir Alex Ferguson when Ole was walking off after the City game, and he looks really happy with Ole, and it really surprises me that Manchester United Football Club have gone down this road of Solskjaer and Carrick and Phelan and McKenna, all ex-players or ex-coaches, with very little experience, and they're going down this route, and it's not just there. Their fitness coach is an ex-player at the club as well. I don't think he's that good compared to what you can go and get out there, but it's all jobs for the boys again. And I think that this surprises me at Manchester United because we capitalised on Liverpool. Like when Sir Alex Ferguson took over from Ron Atkinson, Liverpool were amazing, and then Sir Alex sort of sorted it out, and then Liverpool went crap for 30 years. And the reason Liverpool went crap for 30 years is because they became obsessed with something called the boot room. They tried to keep it in-house. They had a bit of success with it, and then they kept doing it, and it became tired, and it didn't work. And Liverpool went into the obscurity for decades because of it. United are doing exactly the same thing. We're trying to redo this sort of boot room thing. Oh, you've got to have been part of the club before. And Liverpool are the prime example of this not working, and yet we took over from Liverpool. We saw their mistakes and we capitalised on it, and yet we seem to have the same people at the club
who want to go and do what Liverpool did. It's really weird. And if you also look at the lineup is confirmed as well. Also, Liverpool did spend a lot. I mean, you lot are going to be too young, a lot of you, but anybody who's not too young. So when United started being successful in the 90s, in the early 90s, Liverpool won the FA Cup in 92. And because we won it in 90, they won it in Spurs won it in 91, Liverpool won it in 92, and Souness was the manager, an ex-Liverpool player, and they spent a lot of money. I remember them signing Phil Babb for about 3 million, which was probably about 50 million in them days. They bought John Scales for 2 million, probably about 40 million in them days. They spent a lot of money. They bought people like Paul Stewart, Mark Wright. Not the one off the Anyways Essex. They spent a lot of money as well. There's a lot of similarities. And what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of similarities between Liverpool in the early 90s and United now. Spending money badly, focusing on recruiting and getting staff members who used to be at the club. I find it odd, because Sir Alex Ferguson and everyone else would have been fully aware of how bad that was. Why start Maguire, Rashford and Martial? It's a League 2 side, says SJ. Well, yeah, they'd be the three that I disagree with starting tonight. I mean, I'm not forced, I'm not bothered, but they would be the three that I would think, why have we started them? But it is what it is with regards to that one. Got DT sending me DMs. Twice. Ollie really is desperate, says WJ Davies. And Mark looks like Woodward. No, I don't. You're wrong. I do not look like Ed Woodward. You're absolutely wrong. Why so strong in the potato cup, says 2626 Hunter. Looking gorgeous tonight, Mark, says Blel Khan. Thank you very much. It's because I've got tired eyes. Tired eyes. Burning like fire. You guys are getting Poundland Pep. Oh, Jesus, Vandy Candy. If we've got any Arsenal fans watching, I would just say this. I'm far more concerned. I would have been far happier if you'd got Allegri or Nuno, because they play defensive football, and I know you would have turned on them in 6 minutes. I think Arteta might get about 6 weeks. But seriously, I think Arteta plays a brand of football that will be more pleasing on Arsenal fans' eyes, but the big problem Arsenal have got is that team is shit. And it's a very similar problem to United, but I think we've got better players than Arsenal. So Arteta, I think, will try and get them playing good football, but they just haven't, even if he got them playing like Man City. Remember Man City when Pep didn't have a defence and they used to concede loads of goals? Arsenal are going to concede loads of goals. So, yeah. Are you listening to the radio as it's not being shown? Says Alf. Yeah, I need to start untangling my thing. So yeah, people might moan at me for this, but I do actually pay for MUTV, because I do think that if you're going to watch the press conferences and the tour in the summer, and you want radio commentary when it's not on in the game, then I don't believe in not paying for something. So I do pay for MUTV. Look, if the whole of the United fan base is going to say let's boycott MUTV to get Woodward out, I'll do it. But the whole fan base isn't doing that, is not going to do that, and they do radio commentary, so I will be doing that. But we've got you covered. Thoughts on Ruben Neves, says Big Z. He's a good player that's not coming to Manchester United. Let's move on. Please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. It's Christmas Day. A week today. What's Santa going to deliver you? Drawty says start hyping the website. But I don't want to hype the website, because that's one of my first presents. Turbatoon says, from Greenwood, Garner, Williams, McTominay, Chong, Gomez and Twansebe, who will be good enough for title contenders in your opinion? Well, from that list, Twansebe and Greenwood, because why is Williams not playing tonight? Why is Chong not playing tonight? Why is Gomez not playing tonight? If you can't play them, and Garner has got age on his side, as has Williams, but I would have played both of them tonight. I would have bet good money that Williams was going to play tonight, to be honest with you, and I'm quite surprised that he's not. Please do subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. I know I've said it a few times, but the subscriber count is moving slow. We've gone up from 598,500 to 598,515 in 10 minutes. So 10 subscribers in 10 minutes is crap when we're trying to get to 600k. Not tonight, but we could change that number over there to 599 tonight. So please, if you are watching, and there's 9,000 of you watching, please share the video. There's a share button underneath the video. Share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, and we'll get new people coming in. And then we can say subscribe by clicking the subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. And we'll move. In fact, it has just moved. We've just got another 4 subscribers there. So keep sharing it, subscribing. We're trying to get to 600,000 subscribers for Christmas. That's why I keep mentioning it. From Greenwood, we've answered that one. I think Jordan Such is in the house again. He says, if Ollie's going to be here for a while to come, can someone please tell him to stop laughing and joking after drawing at home to Everton? It's really embarrassing to witness. I'll tell you what, Jordan, I'd love to be in the press conference or flex in the press conference on Friday morning. Put your hand up and they go, yeah, you've asked good questions before. Ollie, can you please stop laughing and joking when we drop points to shit? Well, I'm a glass half. I'm a positive man. I'm a glass half full man. You know. There we go. That was probably not a very good impression of Ollie, but I was trying to do a bit northern with a you know. Is the draw after the game? Says Levi Hobden. I don't know. Levi Hobden. I don't know. Do you think winning the Carabao Cup is success as best 7? Can I just be honest here and say yes and no? It's no, because I've always said the Carabao Cup is crap, and under Mourinho I said, well, it's nice to win it, but it's a crap tournament. I think because of the start to the season we've had, which has been terribly poor, if we win the Carabao Cup, you get in the Europa League. And about a month ago, I didn't think we were even going to be in Europe next year. So, to be honest with you, this season could slip back to a month ago very quickly, in which case I would be saying winning the Carabao Cup gets us back into Europe. What time is the game, says Tom Gordon? It's at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. And the draw is at 9:50 p.m. today, says Mull. That's good to know. Good to know. And Mark, have you heard of Kalevsky? And so, what's your thoughts on him? I haven't heard anything about him, to be honest with you. Who's your favourite player from Manchester United? Says Nayad Akhtar. Well, I feel that the live comments should answer that. You know, because sometimes I feel that, you know, we've been doing these shows long enough that people should know who that is. Ollie's positivity lowers. Lovers don't care about opposition. Standards are different for other managers, says Vandy Candy. Do you know if we have officially bought Haaland yet, says Harry Martin. I think we will sign Haaland. I do think we'll sign Haaland, but there are some that suggest that he won't. And Bild, which I think is a decent German outlet, are convinced he's going to Dortmund. And then there's rumours that he's going to go to the sister company, the sister team of RB Salzburg, which is RB Leipzig. So I don't know. I think he's coming to United. I do. And I think that whole signing of the shirt thing we spoke about last night is rather sinister, because I think that signing of that shirt was leaked accidentally, and then when you see all the other shirts that he's signing, quite rightly somebody said this on Twitter, it's in a different location, and all the shirts that he signs are shirts that he would probably have in his house anyway, but why would he have a United one? Napoli, they played recently, so you know, I do agree with that. Hi Mark, when are you going to play more Football Manager? I enjoy it. Jacob, we will be playing it. It's just episode 1, I wanted to leave it up for a long time to get as many people to watch it and like it, so then they'll watch the second one, if that makes sense. So we will be doing that. Of all time, I've heard Mark's favourite player is Fellaini, says Red Baron. Oh, he's guessed it. And Leaf Hunter says that I really hope Luke Shaw has a brilliant game to shut up all the people who have the awful agenda against him. He's honestly a great person. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I am. But you know, even if he doesn't, he'll still get the blame. And watching since you started out, Mark, and finally only just created an account. Keep up the good work. Kev Gorton, thank you very much. One double F foot is old Mason Greenwood, and Kieran Cole says she was only 17 years old. And if we get 600k tonight, Mark, will you sing a Christmas song for us? Says Just Jack. I will do. It won't happen, but I will sing a Christmas song of your own accord. I don't just read Super Chats, Timeless Souls, no. And Mark, you jinxed it with that Liverpool tweet of yours, says Gunjit. I do it on purpose. And Charles Crane says, with the Football Manager series, will you still continue FIFA Career Mode? Charles, well, I'd finished that season anyway. I might come back to it, but at the moment, we'll just keep one going at the same time. 5 Cantoners. Yes, I am wearing my Christmas jumper. And why is Williams not playing today? Says Footy Comp King. Because, I can tell you, because Luke Shaw's playing. I can't read messages on Instagram, Alexi, so if you've sent me a very important message there, I'm sorry. And Real Madrid are dominating Barcelona away, says Maruf. I don't know. I don't know what the score is in that game, to be honest with you. I heard that I heard Barcelona were winning, but it's 0-0. So it's not. And Everton and Leicester have kicked off, and Oxford and Man City have kicked off as well, and it is 0-0 in both of those games. Shabbat. Glasses Goldbridge, says Mohammed A. Do you have 600,000 shirt for your background, says Jacob. We will have one. We will have one. Yusuf, I didn't finish the Europa League FIFA Career Mode. Yeah, well, I sort of did. That was when I was very childish and replayed the game that I got knocked out. You can't do that. I was knocked out. That was the end of the league. Show us the bench, Mark, says Gootel. Well, I don't need to show you the bench because I can tell you that on the bench you've got Phil Jones, McTominay, Chong, Garner, Lingard, McTominay, Garner, Jones. I can't remember who the other defender is. Oh, Williams, yeah. And then Grant as well. I'm not Polish, 5 Alive now. Are you doing a Christmas Day special, says Ewan Gordon? I would keep it a surprise. When is Smaldini coming back, says Nico? I don't think he will. He's very well thought of over in Italy. And Fitness Unscripted Sharath Kamath says, Mark, if people in India aren't aware, they can watch the game on Colours Infinity HD. Well, they are aware now. Lingard's on the bench, yep. What's your opinion on Phil Jones, says Unique Pixel? To be honest with you, I don't even understand. I don't think my opinion matters that much, but I don't even understand because I think that he is a player that I would have got rid of. We gave him a 5-year contract, and then this season we played AZ Alkmaar last week. He should have played in that and given Maguire a rest, and then we're playing Colchester at home, and he's not playing. So, I mean, in some ways you could say Ollie doesn't want to play him. Well done, but in other ways, why is he at the club? What do you predict the score to be after 90, says David Delval? Well, let's do it because we're only 5 minutes away from kickoff. What do you predict the kickoff, the score's going to be after 90 minutes? I predict that Manchester United will win this game either 3 or 4-0. That is my prediction. And you know what? People can say you've jinxed it, but come on. It's Manchester United at Old Trafford. There should be no jinxing of anything. It should be like an expectation, I'm sure our expectation should be that Manchester United are going to win this game. And that is what I expect to happen. So let's see what happens in relation to that. But no, I think United will win. And I think they'll win 3 or 4-0, if I'm honest with you. But let's see. Right. Angel Gomez not even making the bench. What's going on, says Simon Cliff. And Sean Connell says, I'm going 1-0 to Colchester. Sorry, Manchester United fans, but I'm one to put there. Not great lately. I can't see Colchester doing anything. Jordan Such, is Dan James being rested or is he injured, given he ain't even on the bench? Well, Wan-Bissaka's not on the bench. Fred's not on the bench, so I'd say he's being rested. And Stig Hegg Westerham says Haaland's shirt signing was from a charity event for a local football club where he is from. Some people bought shirts to be signed, nothing else. Well, there you go. Then. But to be honest with you, did I not say last night that with regards to that, it's only somebody signing a shirt, so it's not really that much of a deal for me. Okay, I'm just setting up so I can hear and then listen in with you lot as well. Get the timer set as well. We're getting close to kick-off, everybody. Actually, I'm just going to mute that for a moment. No, we'll keep it up. We'll keep it up. I wonder how many people there will be at United tonight, actually. Obviously, we've got fan cams for you afterwards. We've got Flex and the boys are there waiting for you for that as well. If you are at the game, you might even get coverage. That's why I'm saying it. There'll be so few people there. So players are about to come out. Some people saying it's crazy we're not on telly. I mean, to be honest with you, I can live with this one more than I could live with the Premier League games. That just winds me right up, to be honest with you. But yeah, you'd rather be in it than not in it, though, wouldn't you? I mean, look at Arsenal. They've got nothing to do apart from twiddle their thumbs or other things and get excited about £1 Pep. But we have got a game of football and we're up for it. We're up for it, so we are. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you're looking forward to it. Hopefully Manchester United can win. I get that the fact that, you know, maybe the team is a little bit strong. But, however, most important thing is to win this game. We've got nearly... We've nearly got 10,000 people watching. So please do subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. And make sure that you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and share the video. Let's get plenty of people watching. Do you think Gomez's lack of starts or game time will see him leave in January? He was so hyped to be one of our next superstars. Sad if he goes, says Mark Lawton. I think that it's not looking good in relation to. It's not looking good, is it, in relation to Angel Gomez? I think we need to acknowledge that as well. It's just not looking like he's going to be staying at Manchester United, which is sad. It is sad. I wish he was going to stay, but it's just. I would love to have seen him playing tonight, and I think that's the thing that I have a problem with the most, is that why is he not playing tonight? And I think yet again it comes down to contract renewals at Manchester United and this issue that we seem to have in getting players to stay at the club, and because we let contracts run down, and that's the biggest problem that we have, and continually we get this problem. Right, let's get ready to go. Timings could be all over the place today because I'm listening to it, of course. How many empty seats? Not many empty seats, says Eric Greaves. So that's good to know. Christmas time, mistletoe and wine, children singing Christian rhyme, logs on the fire and gifts on the tree. A time to rejoice in the good that we see. Do you want me to do the second verse? I know it. Don't drink and drive. That's not a joke. Don't drink and drive. I haven't really seen that many adverts about it. Happy Christmas. Where is everyone watching this? Says Kieran. There's lots of empty seats, says Robert Davies. I'm watching from Marrakesh. Come on, your Reds, says Gabrielle. Right, we're off and running there. Just got to move the timer for you. There we go. So, up we go. A lot of people won't be able to watch today, so do keep them up to date with what's going on if you're in the live comments. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. Manchester United against Colchester, Carabao Cup game. Let's have a look at the comments. Can only be a United win, says Dalen Shetty. Corner to United early on. Mark, you look like Haaland, says Bodak. So yeah, there'll be a lot of United sitting back and soaking. Not United. Colchester United will be doing that. A lot of that today. I haven't got any contact lenses. Wish I could do my job in my PJs too, says Alex Billing. Well, I had a quick shower before. These aren't my pyjamas anyway. You could use this jumper as a pyjamas, to be honest with you. Be good to see how we break down the low block though today. I think that's going to be really interesting. Because he has gone with a strong team today. You have got Rashford there, you have got Greenwood there, and you have got Martial there. And I mean, very, very early to say this, but I think Greenwood should be playing against Watford. And the fact that Daniel James has been left means that maybe that's not going to happen. I'm watching this and the El Clasico together, says Chris Joseph. Well, it's not much of an El Clasico, is it? I've got El Clasico on my other screen as well. And radio there, MUTV. But I think that we've got a free kick for United here. But the El Clasico game looks a bit boring, to be honest with you. Only 88 minutes to go, says Nicholas Cohill. Rashford free kick. Scored one in this tournament already, of course. Just wide. Bad free kick, says Lars. A lot of people said it was quite close. Watching in Switzerland thanks to IPTV on an Indian channel called Joyo Football. Come on, United. Couldn't care less about El Clasico, says Turby Team. Well, it is a cup quarter-final as well, so... I'll tell you what's interesting about tonight, and it doesn't really impact on the Premier League, is that United, as I was saying last night, when we've had over 55% possession in the Premier League, we have not won a game this season. Tonight we are going to have a lot of possession, and it's about whether we can deal with their low block. Team-wise, formation-wise, it sounds like United are not necessarily doing the 4-2-3-1, which is what you wouldn't expect. I mean, I know that's laid out there, but that's because United are always using that formation. Having said that, Pereira is dropping a little bit deep to get the ball. He's just played a pass there, actually. Greenwood playing on the right, of course. Martial playing through the middle. So it is that team we've got on the left. You know, we knew that was the personnel, but it is that team as well. Luke Shaw's getting a lot of the ball early on as well. Crossed by Young. It's all United at the moment, Sean Byrne. Nearly got a good name in Sean Byrne. All United at the moment, and you would expect that to be the case. I read they gave 20,000 tickets to kids for free tonight as an initiative to integrate fans who cannot afford and to make it look busy for cameras. Side note, Carabao Cup mark on the screen. I don't know what you're talking about, Humi. I've called it the Carabao League down there because I didn't have time to change the cup. If that's what you mean, you cheeky git. Why is Martial playing, says Negan Red? Because Ollie picked him. Why is Luke Shaw playing when he could have played Brandon Williams? And we've got another foul on Marcus Rashford there, which... From playing Fabio, Gibson, Welbeck in games like this, we have to play our strongest front three. Shows our lack of strength in depth, says Fitness Unscripted. Well, maybe it's psychological from United to be showing that that's why we need to sign a striker. Personally, I think that a midfielder is more important, but, you know, there you go. So another free kick to Marcus Rashford here. So it's a good area for Rashford. Let's see what he can do. Keeper spills it and he's got rid of it. So close for Manchester United there. But Rashford, you know, I know Rashford didn't play that well. Well, he didn't score against Everton, but I still think that Rashford's on fire at the moment. And the issue that he has is the fact that the team is just not creating enough. I think that's his problem. But United all over Colchester, as you would expect. It's going to be a long night for them. And I think it's just going to be a matter of when, not if, Manchester United score. Jay Sanchez says we're a little bit behind. I'm listening to it on the radio, and to be honest, that MUTV always seems to be a few minutes behind, if I'm honest with you. All United, as I've said numerous times, and it's all about whether United can break these down, get that first goal. Colchester offering very little, which is interesting but Rochdale were in a league above them, so it's lots of free kicks for United, lots of problems for Colchester to try and deal with. They're going to sit deep. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a game that United really do absolutely dominate with regards to the ball. Matic is class, says Man United 84. I hope you're joking. Heard about the 76 million price paid for Haaland rumours. Don't want him at that price. Thoughts? Says Rafe Raffio. Well, there is a bit of a rumour floating around tonight about Erling Haaland that his 20 million release clause only comes to in relation to if he goes to RB Leipzig. So if we're going to pay £70 million for Haaland, we've been absolutely robbed. So I don't think that's going to happen. Matic is a donkey. A lot of people saying that. Well, let's just see how he gets on. You know, I think it's important. Matic is painful to watch, says Sam the Man. Matic hurts my eyes, says Simon. 80%, 87% possession, says Sino. That doesn't surprise me. Please do share the video if you're watching, and make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. We've got 598,650 subscribers. So we've had 150 in half an hour. Please do keep subscribing if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. We're trying to get to 599 tonight, and then hopefully between tonight and Christmas Day, we can get that final 1,000. So please do keep subscribing, bottom right-hand corner, and keep sharing as well. Colchester battling well. United looking like the better team, certainly having a lot of the ball. I just think, you know, there's a massive gulf in quality here today. Mark, what do you think of the B-Tech Pep, who has hair taking over Arsenal? I'm fuming, says Zane Miassi. Well, I was going to say, I thought it's Zane as an Arsenal fan. I'd rather you got... I'd be more worried about you getting Arteta than I would be if you got Nuno or Allegri. I've said that before, so, you know. Things like this really annoy me. Ollie has no need to play Martial, Rashford and Maguire. Use the squad. Maybe he does it for an excuse when things go wrong, says Buster Nut. And Mojo says, our creativity against Colchester is equally worrying like it is against the mid-table. Rashford. Ooh. Rashford into the box, and then a toe poke challenge by the Colchester defender. It's another corner. Our creativity against Colchester is equally worrying like it is against the mid-table Premier League teams. Well, that was quite good. That was quite good from United. It, you know, carved Colchester open, and, you know, Rashford nearly getting through. I mean, that's what you want to see. You know, you can't say we can't break teams down, and then you do break a low block down. So that worked quite well. And Svee Mello, hello Svee, not heard from you in a while. Hope you're having I hope you have a good Christmas. Josh finished Blood Brothers' latest episode. Tough one to take. Hoping for a Greenwood hat trick tonight, says Svee. It's not a tough one to take for me, mate, because it happened ages ago. And I'm not that fussed. But there are other episodes to come. The story is not over, is what I would say. Ooh. I tell you what, Rashford's looking really lively. Another good shot by Rashford. I think Rashford at the moment is just on fire, isn't he? Do you know if Pogba's going to be back for Watford, says Leaf Hunter? I mean, what do we think about that? I don't really think that he will be. Bit of a quiet start for Greenwood, but Rashford's looking like the major threat. And I was saying that before. That with regards to Rashford, I did feel that against Everton he struggled, but so did Martial. I think they both struggled for the same reason. I still think Rashford didn't have a bad game. I think Rashford still is on fire in relation to his form. We just couldn't, you know, find that spark for him. Just to keep you up to date with the other scores that are on tonight, Manchester City are beating Oxford 2-0 at the moment, and it's 0-0 in El Clasico as well. Still 0-0 in this game as well. Aqua Egg says Young and Matic are running the show. Why doesn't he start them every game? Ricky's already screen recording Matic, says Jay Sanchez, making compilations on his world-class runs. Ant Buster, just two things for you. One, you're wrong. Two, we don't do. It's not us who's doing them, which you'll find out if you actually order one. So there you go. And if we can't score in this game, close the club down, says Ashley Mull. I'm sure we will score. It might take a little bit of time, but I'm sure we're going to score. Matic has got no idea where he is. His gentleman's lab. Yeah, I could make a joke about that. Ricky does love him as well. Vandy Candy, you're right. I wish you a Merry Christmas, says Aidan Brown. And do you have to pay to become a member? So, yes, you do. And Alex Billings says, to re-fan channels, I lost interest in United until I found the United Stand. How can they possibly be a negative thing for football? Thank you, Mark. No, I think fan channels. I've had so many people over the years say that I supported United, but it was only a weekend thing. And since I found the United Stand, it's now an obsession. It's a daily thing. And I think that many outlets, mainstream media, news, websites don't cover that. But it's all United in this game at the moment, and they're passing the ball around well, and it's Mason Greenwood who gets a shot off, but it goes for yet another corner. El Clasico on a Wednesday, that's unusual, says Mojo. It's because it was rearranged, wasn't it? They had to cancel it. Next Football Manager episode, Mark. Also, Merry Christmas, your legend, says Shake Jakey5. Could be tomorrow night. Could be tomorrow night at 7 for that. No, it won't be. It won't be tomorrow night, actually, because I'm football training. I'll definitely get one for you, and I'll tell you when it's going to be. I will be live when they do the Carabao Cup draw, because it will probably coincide with when I'm doing my match reaction. Matic is a relic, says John Shelton. Everton is a joke and we couldn't beat them. Are they losing, Everton? Yes, they're losing 2-0. It was 0-0, and I think they've let 2 goals in 3 minutes. And both of those teams have put out their strongest teams, to be fair. Everton have picked the same team that played against United. And, Leicester have gone very strong as well. I'll tell you what, I'd like to get Leicester in the Carabao Cup. If we get through, I'd like to see that. B-Tech Treble is on. Carabao, FA Cup and the Europa thoughts, says Mick01HT. Yeah, well, Ollie would definitely call it a treble, I'm sure. Anyone watch Bleacher BR Football, the Champions' latest episode? Manchester United was spot on, says Asiaf. Leicester will smash United, says Yazib. Oh, look, you know what? I would expect United to get through this tie, because Colchester have done nothing. It's just about scoring. And then if we do get through, I don't mind if we get City or Leicester. Well, Villa could cause us problems over 2 legs as well. They beat us. They didn't beat us. We couldn't beat them, could we? Yeah, Colchester have offered absolutely zilch going forward, which is what you would expect from a team that is mid-table in League 2. So, yeah. Super chat from Humi. Question for you in the chat. Just one player who do you think in the current squad in 20 to 30 years' times you will say, wow, that was a great player? I think Rashford, Martial or Greenwood for me. Hi Mark, question, do you miss Johnny Evans playing for United as ace? No, I think it was the right time to sell Johnny Evans. I've said that before. Yeah. Gavin Gold says we need to slow it down a bit. Well, Pereira's just played a ball over the top to Greenwood to try and get him in, but Greenwood couldn't take it down. So, look, I think today is about beating the low block, isn't it? And then, maybe taking some confidence from that. Because, look, of course, Watford are better than Colchester, but there'll probably be a similar approach. Mark, did you see a fan on AFTV who is American said in America there are caps how much you can spend on teams? That's why Kroenke and Glazers don't want to spend a lot on the clubs in the UK, as they are not used to it, says Zayn Miasi. No, I think that's a bollocks, to be honest. The quality and number of crosses we are putting in are begging for Haaland, says Mojo. Colchester have just got a little bit of momentum at the moment. But it's a throw-in to Colchester. Pereira's got good long balls, says Martial Matters. I mean, look, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't in this game. Because if Rashford or Greenwood or Martial score, we all celebrate it because we love those sort of players. But if Pereira or Matic or Shaw or Mata has a good game, the critics will say, well, they should do. They're playing a League Two side. I heard about Zlatan going to Everton, Payne. I don't know about that. What has Zlatan played under Ancelotti before? Ashley Young's about to get booked. It doesn't work like that in America. The salary cap doesn't work like that. The Glazers don't spend because they don't care about the club, says Charles Crane. Yes, I agree with that. So, in the last couple of minutes, to be fair to Colchester, they have started to come back into the game a little bit. Let's give them their dues. They've not actually managed to get the ball in the penalty box yet, but they've had a little bit of possession. So let's give them a little bit of respect. But it's comfortably Manchester United at the moment. Bash Gaming thinks that Colchester will score. I don't do gambling, so I'm not going to say anything, but I don't think that they will. So what we got? How long have we been going anyway? 22 minutes. I mean, look. I'm going to keep saying this. I'll be very surprised if Manchester United don't win this game. But look, even if we can't break them down in the first half, they're a League Two side. Their fitness levels will be nothing like our fitness levels, because that is something that changes drastically by each league you go up. It breaks my heart to Matic and Mata out there instead of Garner and co. Good youth for European games, but not League Two dross, says the mystery man. And Simon Cliff says Emre Can has dropped off the radar mark. Well, Emre Can does want to come to Manchester United, but I don't think Manchester United want to sign him. You know. But how can we not be interested in a Bruno Fernandes or Emre Can? We've got OAPs like Matic and Mata. Hubbling around our midfield. Well, Colchester, you know, I think one thing I'll say at the moment is I'm a little bit worried about is that Colchester have been very, very defensive for 20 minutes, and now they're sort of having a little bit of ball in our final third. Do you think it's time for Ollie to go, says Shmoney TV? No. Michael Sauter says, the salary cap 100% works like that for MLS. Only 3 players are allowed to make over a certain amount, but that shouldn't change United spending. Who me? Maybe it's perception, maybe it's in my head. But to me, I look at Rashford, Pereira, Shaw, McTominay, Maguire, and I just don't see them holding up a Premier League title. They don't look Premier League title winners to me. Well, I think things can change. What I would say is that I think if Marcus Rashford had come into the 99 side, or McTominay had come into that squad, or Twansebi had come into that squad, you could see them winning the Premier League title because they've got Premier League title winners with them. But at the moment, we're miles off. I just don't see the mentality. That's the problem with United. I just don't see the mentality. And it's Pereira with a lovely ball again. He's tried to get Greenwood in before. It's a lovely ball over the top by Pereira. He plays it into Marcus Rashford, who has just got to take a touch, and he's through 1-on-1, and he's absolutely Lukaku'd it. But that's a couple of times that's happened with Pereira. He's getting a lot of space in the centre circle. And the way the Colchester line is, it's allowing Greenwood and Rashford to come in from the outside and end up in a one-on-one situation. And Greenwood just missed out on it one time. Rashford there should have been through. Nice ball by Pereira over the top. And Rashford, if he takes it down, he's through one-on-one and he messed it. He Lukaku'd it. Pereira is on form, says Cy Flexi. Well, look... What I would say about Andreas Pereira is, and I'm a player that I'm a man. I'm somebody who likes Andreas Pereira. I don't think he's like Matic and Mata. He's not finished. I just don't know at what level Andreas Pereira is. I don't think Andreas Pereira is a top 6 Premier League player until proven otherwise. Is he a mid-table Premier League player? Is he a bottom half-table Premier League player? Is he a Championship player? I don't know, but if he's any of those things, he's still going to be better than a League 2 midfield, isn't he? So yeah, at least he is exploiting the opposition and actually, because ultimately every single Manchester United player tonight should be putting in 8 out of 10 performances because of the opposition being League 2. But so far, who for you has actually put in a good performance? I mean, Martial's been very quiet tonight, isn't he? He's doing a lot of the work, but look me in the eyes and tell me, Luke Haynes. Well, I'm not watching. No, what I'm looking at there is the live comments. So my eyes are there, and in my ear, I'm listening to MUTV, which everybody can go and listen to if they pay for it. DJ John T says, "Let's be a little cautious about Haaland, lads. We were all so excited about Sanchez, and look how that went. It really Haaland we need, or do we need to strengthen our midfield first?" Says Dr. John. DJ John T. Sorry, Dr. John. I totally agree with you. I think that I said this morning on Twitter. I said that if we're going to sign anybody in the summer in January, it's got to be a midfielder. I think we have been a little bit reliant in this game so far with the long ball over the top. And again, I think that the big problem United have got is that number 10 position. Mata's just not in the game. Hi Mark, I'm a Bury fan who has grown to United since our demise, as I was a big Berbatov fan. Zlatan has already said he's going back to Sweden to play, says Jack Dylan Newland. I thought he was going to Spain. I'm not really got any interest in Zlatan, to be honest with you, because as long as he doesn't come to United. And Humi says, I'm going to start a petition next time you're not on the watch along. We get Ricky from the fan cams or his own segment. Great talker and presence on the cam. It seems we're playing with 8 players. Matic, Mata, Martial are missing. I think people need to understand the Martial position, to be fair, though. DJ John T, I'm going to call you doctor from now on. So what are we at? About half an hour gone? The draw is after the game. Ryan Russell, yeah. Zan says that Pereira's passing's on point. I mean, he's got so much space against this sort of opposition. Maybe we should go and play in League 2. Mark, do you think our best team now would win the title with Sir Alex? Says Michael Soothcombe. If Sir Alex Ferguson had to manage this team, I think he would struggle to win the league against Liverpool's and Man City's because they're way better. If I'm honest. Tupac Shakur says that Martial has struggled today. I mean, look, you can either like Martial or hate Martial. There does seem to be a bit of an agenda there. But what I would say about Martial is that Rashford and Greenwood, when they get the ball, they're running at the goal. And when they're running centrally, they're running from the wing so they can get their speed going. Martial is playing centrally with his back to goal. Roy Widner says that Martial has been unfairly criticised so far. I would agree with that. I think it's a misunderstanding of how different the number 9 position is compared to Rashford. Like, if you swapped Martial with Rashford now, I think Rashford would become quiet, and I think that Martial would become more into the game. Marky says, I can see this going to penalties. Well, Pereira has put another one on the plate for Rashford. This time he's virtually level with the 6-yard box. The ball goes over the Colchester line and Rashford misses 2 sitters. Which means I've got to... I've jinxed him. Tweeted out, Rashford looks like he's on fire tonight, and ever since then he's missed 2 chances. I don't see why we always play with the one up top. The reason why we're so good in Sir Alex's era was because we played the standard 4-4-2, says Liam Brown. And I think Liam's got a good point there. I mean, you know, a lot of people say, can you play the 4-4-2 in the modern game? And I don't think you necessarily can in the Premier League because it's so competitive. But I think when you're at home at Old Trafford against Colchester from League 2, why not play 2 up front? Humi says this is mentally draining for a Wednesday evening, 0-0 against a League 2 team after 30 minutes at home with this lineup. I'm guessing fitness will kick in second half and it will all be forgotten. I would imagine so, but to be honest with you, that second chance for Rashford should be a goal. Kevin Owens says, I like Martial, but is he a 30 goal a season striker? Well, not if he's not getting the chances. I mean, and Pereira's probably been United's best player today. Paul Robinson says, for fuck's sake, Rashford, pick a pass. I think Rashford is so confident at the moment that he's almost got that arrogance that you need to have. And, you know, again, I saw it over the weekend. This, I think even Rashford was talking about it himself, these links with being Ronaldo. I don't like to talk about it because it sounds massively disrespectful to Rashford, who is a player that I like, but there is just no comparison between Rashford and Ronaldo. They are nothing like each other. They will never be like each other. And Rashford will never be close to being anywhere near Ronaldo. You're talking about one of the greatest players in the world ever. Marcus Rashford won't even be in the top 5 English strikers ever. So, look, Rashford's a great talent, but the comparisons with Ronaldo, do they do Rashford any favours? Does he start to believe his own hype and be a little bit greedy in places where he sometimes should be finding a pass? This is almost as embarrassing as against City, says Zamiasi. Why? We're not losing. And it's not happening for Rashford tonight. Doesn't seem to get his proper boots on, says Mojo. Bodak says you look like the granddad from the movie Up. That's just because I'm wearing glasses. You know, what's next? You look like Michael Caine? You look like Ronnie Corbett? Zanos says the game is awful. Well, look, please share the video and subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get to 599,000 tonight. We're on 598,750, 250 short. Bottom right hand corner, please do subscribe if you're new. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got fan cams, we've got match reactions, we've got previews, we've got call-ins, we've got transfer news. Biggest Manchester United fan community on YouTube, and we've got some cracking Christmas presents coming up for you as well. So please do subscribe and get involved in the community. You're not going to regret it. Just an idea, maybe for Drawty, it'd be kind of cool to interchange the lineup with match stats like Football Manager, shots, possessions, etc. That would be cool to see live days. It can be done, Humi. We'll look at that. Paul O'Dowd says, when I watch these games, I turn off the commentary and listen to this instead. It's more entertaining. Thanks, Paul. Is the alarm on? Corey Wilson says you look like Fred. Well, I look more like Fred than I do like than Erling Haaland, which is going around today, and I just find that hilarious. Richie makes a good point. Why are we playing 2 CDMs against Colchester? Well, Pereira's probably been United's best player, but he is playing very, very deep. He's almost doing a Beckham role from a CDM position with Matic next to him. What is Mata's job at United, says Kristen Stoker? He's chief blog writer. Mark, are you hanging up your stocking on your wall, says Jordan Sido. You know what, I am feeling quite festive. This game, I refuse to let this game change my festive mood. So, look, if you want to talk about your favourite Pringles at Christmas, we can do that. But we are keeping an eye on a Manchester United quarter-final at Old Trafford against Colchester. I always worry when we start to talk about those sort of things. Star Wars is out as well. Mixed reviews for it. But yeah, Pringles. I've already ordered my Pringles for Christmas. I think I ordered sour cream, prawn cocktail, and smoky barbecue. So there you go. They're my favourite three. I'll tell you what I do like at the moment. Those pop crisps. They're not popcorn crisps. They're like these round shields. Oh, they're so Moorish. Again, barbecue flavour and sour cream flavour they do. I think they're called pop crisps. Get some for Christmas. Get them in a bowl. Lovely stuff. The mystery man says, tactically we're a mess. Our fullback should be high and wide and we should have one holding midfielder. Ollie isn't a clue. I agree with that. I'll talk about that after the game, regardless of the result, because I think Greenwood's wasted out on the right as well, isn't he? Been very quiet. Good evening, Mark and chat, says Christopher Williams. It's very side to side from United, isn't it? And I think you see Pereira and Matic going side to side. Mata forever coming deep to get the ball. And we just end up with these lines of going side to side. There's no triangles around their box. It pisses me off, actually, from United. It's just 2 lines of attack. Like, even when we're on the edge of their box, you've got Pereira, Matic, Young and Shaw. And then Mata goes and joins Martial and Greenwood and Rashford. And you end up with 2 lines. Like, this is so basic. So you've got 2 lines there. What you need is somebody to drop in, or 2 players to drop in here, so that then Pereira could go Mata to Greenwood. And then Pereira moves forward. You've got to have your triangles. You can't do triangles with 2 lines. And that's the simplistic tactics for you. Still can't believe we spent 80 million on Maguire, says Fitness and Scripted Carath. Well, I've got to disagree with you on that one, because he is an England centre-back. The English tax. They've booked the goalkeeper now. Tactically, we've read that one. Ryan Locke says Rashford wouldn't be at United if he didn't come from the academy. Too inconsistent, not good enough. Why not play Gomez, Mark, with Mason up top? Well, Gomez looks like he's gone, doesn't it, to be fair. Goalkeeper's been booked for time wasting. Catcher Rice says we could even draw them out, then counter. It's so simple. Yeah, I mean, people might be confused by that, but I've played in games before where the coach has said, I mean, it's been 20 years, but the coach has said, look, they're going to sit deep against us. We've got quick strikers. Just sit deep against them and let them have the ball, and we'll hit them, and it does work. They start to get a bit of confidence. You can almost give the opposition the ball for 5 minutes to let them get a bit of confidence, and then bang, you've got the goal. Then they can't sit back for the rest of the game. This can be a game of chess, but United again here, just ball around the edge of the box, and it's... Nick P says, Mark, if you take your glasses off and pout, you could probably get away with turning up to Carrington tomorrow for Haaland's medical. Yeah, probably could. And Colchester 2 have figured out our game plan. Ollie needs to start thinking better game plan, says Mojo. Good point. I mean, I think Colchester's coach has figured Manchester United out, but he just hasn't got the quality of players to hurt us. They are 3 leagues below us. Kerry Weston says Man United are playing well. Well, Maguire's also coming up to the virtually the edge of the box. After watching the first half of the Classico, seeing the beautiful way both teams tried to play, switched over to this and it's just pissing me off. Poor movement, no fluidity, tired of this 4-2-3-1. I'll say it time and time again, Don Island, thanks for that. But I'll say it time and time again. Why did we ever change? And tonight was a prime example of why. It's Colchester at home. They're League Two side. Why could we not go back to what you did in the first 3 months and just play one holding midfielder? He could have just played one holding midfielder tonight with Matic, and he's playing two again. I understand if Gomez leaves, he has only played 3 times and all out of position, but I can't stand that people think he's been given a chance, says Michael Sauter. No, he's not been given a chance. I can't remember how many games he's played at number 10, but that's his position. 6782 Anthony says, Martial's hold-up play has been good, don't understand the agenda, lack of creativity in the midfield or lack of quality runs and to the box, or both. Spot on. I don't think Martial's had a bad game, I just think people don't understand the role. Rochdale all over again, says Jordan Such. 79% possession, says John Tesfaye. In relation to the other games, I can tell you the scores. It's 2-0 to Leicester and it's 1-0 to Manchester City at half-time. And it's 0-0 in El Clasico. 10 minutes to go. No playmaker is the problem for United. But people obviously have no idea what it's like to play up front on your own with no number 10. Playing up front with your back to goal. Two and a half minutes to half time. Bloody hell. How are we not in front? Crazy. Colchester have got a corner though. So let's have a look, if you are watching, if Manchester United zonal mark on this corner or if they pick up their men. I have it on good authority that Manchester United zonal mark, and as somebody just said in the live comments, they're not picking up men, they're all zonal marking from corners again. When do you eat Christmas dinner? That's well, maybe we'll talk about that in the second half. It's zonal marking again. Everyone says it. Zonal marking again. Al Tessa says if we lose this, it's definitely Pogba's fault. I do like Turkey, yes, I do like Turkey. Cool dude, Batia. How are we not winning, says Alfie Barr. Static Matic, what a player, says McNally145. Well, they just said on the radio that he's got no movement, he's got no options. He's got no bloody idea anyway. Doesn't matter if he had options. I can't, even if you use zonal marking, you should still man mark 2 most dangerous players, says Doobie Guy. Yeah, well, the reason you immediately know if United are zonal marking when they defend a corner, because Harry Maguire will stand on the 6-yard box level with the front post. And that's when you know we're zonal marking. Have faith, second half they will get rocket up the butts and Greenwood will score a worldie, says Josh Dew. Oh, I think United will win, but the question again is going to be, is it good enough from Manchester United? And I think the question is going to be a resounding no. But having said that, there was a couple of opportunities for Marcus Rashford to take the ball down and score. Sideways Passing FC says White Owl. Evening, Mark. We definitely need some signings in January. Have you got Haaland on the football index? His price is soaring, says Jimbo74. No, he would be a good player to get hold of, though, wouldn't he? And change the formation, says Barry O'Neill. Why? That's exactly the way that we're playing. Why would I change the formation? We are playing with Pereira and Matic deeper. I could scribble Mata out, the invisible man, because again we're not playing with a number 10, but apart from that, I think United have got another corner here. Another corner not scored. Well, Luke Shaw's just made a good recovery tackle when Colchester were in a 2v2 situation there. Can't buy a goal, says Ben777. Rashford's had a shocking half. I think he has. But you know what I would always say about someone like Marcus Rashford there? I think he's had a crap half, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's crap. It's just that it's not gone right for him. He is getting involved. We always play to the level of our opponents, says White Owl. I think that's very, very true. Very, very true. Still not at half-time yet. They've added 3 minutes on, so still a little bit of time to go. Truth Starts Now says, Mark doesn't go to United games because he's afraid of United fans. Yeah, every time I've been, which is 5 times in the last year, I stand outside Hotel Football with thousands of fans behind me. I don't go to games because we do watch-alongs, is the honest answer. So there you go. Shove your capital letters up your arse and enjoy your Christmas. Ollie is playing with our hearts, says Jugo, and we're in Ollie time, says Giorgio B. And Martial's just hit a shot from about 35 yards out that was dipping, and just went wide. So, you know, who's had the better half? Martial has had the better half than Rashford, but, you know, no one wants to say that. Mark, if we bottle this game now, what do you think the fan base would turn around and say in relation to Ollie and tactics specifically? I don't think the actual result of the game should dictate how fans feel about the game, to be honest with you. I think that we should be winning a game like this anyway. And I think that we shouldn't be dictated to just because we win the game. I think that in my match reaction, I always look at games as a whole, and I think that this game today again has shown a tactical naivety and an inability to break down a team. We've had opportunities, and I'm sure if Ollie was spoken to at half time, he would say, well, if Marcus Rashford takes that ball down, let me just turn this audio off. Actually, I'll just turn it off for a minute. Yeah, so I think if you spoke to Ollie now, he would say, oh, well, you know what, it's just fine margins. That ball from Pereira over the top to Rashi. If Rashi takes that down, we score and it's 1-0. But that was a long ball over the top. That's not breaking a team down. It is in a way because you score, but it's still not breaking the low block. That was at a time when we had the ball in our own half virtually. So we're still not able to break this low block. And as I was saying in the game, the reason we can't break the low block is because so many times we're 10 yards outside the edge of the box of Colchester, right? And you've got Matic and Pereira, and then you've got Young and Shaw. So you've got 4 there. And then you've got Martial, Mata, Greenwood and Rashford. So you've got 2 lines. 2 lines. What you need is Mata and maybe Greenwood or Rashford tucking in and go 3 lines, because then you can do triangles. You can knock it to Mata, you could knock it to Martial, and we're just playing so basic because we're not breaking those lines. And triangle passing has been around for years. And we don't do it because it's always side, side, side and looking for a worldy forward pass that you don't need to do. It's all about movement and triangles. And we play in 2 straight lines, and you shouldn't play in 2 straight lines. You should have a line, a line, a line, a line. Sometimes 4 lines, but definitely 3 so that you can do your triangles. Mark, if we bottle this game now, what do you think the fan base... I've done that. Do I think the fan base... Ollie's... Yeah, we've done that one. Graham Outerbridge says, the reluctance to go back to the 4-3-3 even against lesser teams is worrying for the future. 4-3-3 seems to be the exception to the rule. And the Machine 94 says, why aren't we in front, for God's sake? And why pick Mata and Matic? They're just not good enough and not worth being picked. Gosh. And Benji Dangar says, do you reckon Pereira can still improve and become a baller for us, or has he reached his peak? I think Andreas Pereira is probably a Bournemouth midfielder at best, if I'm honest with you, but he has probably been our best player of that half. I mean, who was your player of the half? Because for me, I think it was Pereira in what was quite a frustrating half. 79% possession, 12 shots, but only 1 on target. Even against the League 2 side, we can't create against the team that sits back, says Michael Sauter. They need to put Greenwood on the ball. Rashford has blasted 50 shots and Greenwood none, says Bab Academy. Yeah, Greenwood's been a bit quiet, to be honest with you. He's not been able to get in the game. But I wouldn't be critical of Greenwood. Some people would like to be critical of Martial in games like this, but I tell you what, it is ridiculously hard when you are playing up front in a team like that, where you're playing with your back to goal and you're not getting good service. Rashford can shoot from 40 yards, so it looks like he's getting involved, and he's broken the lines a couple of times from long balls. But Martial did that towards the end of the game. Does that mean Martial's had a good game? They're not getting the service, so they're trying to score worldies. One of the worst games I've seen, barring Mason. Midfield and forwards should hang their head in shame. I'm fed up of this crap. We're United. Get Ollie out, says Mr. Beast. Frustration there. I can't continue to watching this crap, says Michael Wander. I'm off to bed. And just sideways passing from the middle out to the wing, cut in, pass to the middle, rinse and repeat. No forward passes through the middle, says Reeps. Yeah, you know, I mean, what's the difference between what the football we were playing under Van Gaal and Jose? There's absolutely none. City are winning 2-0. And the timer, Mark, the timer needs to be closed. Yes, it does. Stop, reset. It's hard to break down 11 men, though, says Toby Wiles. Yeah, no one's ever had to do that before. League 2 team, says Zhang Dang. And please like and share and subscribe, says Smutty. Yeah, let me just give a shout out at half time, actually. Subscribers wise, we're on 598,800. We're 200 away from 599,000. And we want to hit 600,000 for Christmas, which is a week tonight. It's 9 o'clock. I tell you what I'll be doing. I'll be sat there with a turkey sandwich in one hand, a can of beer in the other, maybe red wine, I don't know, watching the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special. What will you be doing? Well, let's all hope we can all have a little look at the United Stand subscriber count and be on 600,000 subscribers, which would cap what has been a fantastic year for the channel. If you are new, subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got fan cams after every game. We've got previews. We've got transfer news. We've got call-ins. We've got loads going on. So make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. And let's see if we can hit 600k. Brilliant community, and keep it coming. And also, as if you weren't listening before, I've got... United might not be able to deliver you a great Christmas present, but I can. 3 Christmas presents. You've got one coming up tomorrow. It's massive. Another one before Christmas, and then Christmas Day morning I've got a special treat for you on the channel. Mark, this is disgraceful. I'm shocked you're so passive at this performance, says Irish Lad. You know why, Irish Lad? I've done this for so long because I know what will happen. United will win this game 2 or 3-0 in the second half, and it will just get forgotten. So I don't... It's not that I disagree with the anger. I will mention it in the match reaction, and people will say you're just being negative again. But we'll probably win in the second half, and I'll do my match reaction, and everything I've written down, I will say about the first half performance. And people will just go, at the end of the day, though, we won. Stop being so negative. So I just choose not to get totally angry about it. Because, to be honest with you, how can we not win this game? It's only because we're crap that we're not winning that game. Because Colchester haven't done a thing. And they're only going to get more tired in the second half. So how could Colchester ever win this game of football? And I know people will be going, please, I hope they do win so I can clip that off. But seriously, even if they did go and win it, I would be like, how have they won that game? They've done nothing. They're not good enough. I think their manager totally knows how to do Ollie, But it's like trying to win a race on a go-kart against the Ferrari. We've got the better players. He knows how to stop us, but his players probably aren't good enough to win the game. We have to sign a midfielder in January, Mark. What are the odds of us actually signing one? And who do you think a realistic January target is, says Sion Hussein. Well, I don't know. But what I would say is, how can United decide that we don't need Bruno Fernandes and we don't need Emre Can, but be happy with that? It defies belief. I mean, you've got Matic and Mata hobbling around on an OAP's weekend, and yet we wouldn't sign Bruno Fernandes or Emre Can. It's just pure stupidity. Cantona, the greatest number 7, says, hi Mark, long time. I want to say until we get a creative midfielder, this will be a continuous problem. Ollie's doing great with what he has. Interesting. Don't disagree, but I'm not going to come back on that. Thanks for the comments. Well, I will do, because you're probably thinking, well, please do come back. I don't think Ollie's doing a great job. I think he's tactically naive. He cannot do something that I know how to do. If I was him at half-time, I would get your little board out and I would say, right, all you're doing is having 2 lines like that. Matic, Pereira, Young, Shaw, and then Mata, you're becoming part of the front 4. Where is the person dropping in between those 2 lines to allow us to do the central triangles to pass and move? We're just 2 lines. It's too easy to defend against. Tommy B says, Mark, I haven't seen the whole show, so I'm not sure if you've already spoke about it, but what's the latest on the big price tag on Haaland? I thought he had a £20 million release clause. I'm not 100% sure, Tommy B. What I think is happening is, and there's lots of different stories, is that Erling Haaland has a release clause of 20 million. But apparently this may only be if he goes to RP Leipzig, and any other club has to pay a proper fee. Hence there's talk that United might pay up to 70 million. The Haaland deal I like, but one of the big things that made me like it was the fact that what's the drama if it's 20 million? If you're paying anything above 40, I think, oh God, no. It's too much of a risk. Fun time with Baby Sanab says, basic pass and move, triangles like you said. Why can we not do it? I learnt that in secondary school team. We have no quality wingers and no classy midfielders. And Mark Whitten says, this time last year I had about 230k. That's when I found the channel. It's come a long way in 12 months. Credit to you and everyone behind the scenes. We had 230,000 subscribers a year ago. Bloody hell. And Jay Singh says, hope you had a good day, Mark. Can't believe the team we have put out and we only have a shot on target. Hopefully Wally gets the sack. #Poch in. I mean, look, just very quickly on the club, I can only reiterate what is coming out of the club, and you don't need to have sources for this. I was told by a source that Pogba will not be sold in January under no circumstances, and we spoke about that a week ago. But this is not from a source. This is from numerous journalists, and it's out there. You know this already, but even this week it's been reiterated. Manchester United are totally behind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and they believe in the vision he has. No comment. Tommy B, I've read that one, sorry. How can Ollie be happy with this midfield, says Jack Pickering, and not be looking at new midfielders in January? This is embarrassing. None of them are able to pick a killer pass. Look, if we do sign Haaland in January, we will still be crap between January and May, because that midfield's not good enough. And all you're going to have to say is, we're reliant on Paul Pogba coming back and staying fit. But even Pogba back can't play every week. If we get through this tie, then he can't play every week. So, like in February, we'll be playing Thursday, Sunday. If we're playing in the Cup as well, and we're going to be playing 2 games a week till the end of the season. So we literally cannot put ourselves in this situation whereby we don't buy a midfielder. It's crazy. But the thing is, I'm not confident we will sign a midfielder, and even if we do sign a midfielder, who will it be? Who will it be? I don't know. Jordan Such, 1-1 with Rochdale, 0-0 at half-time with Colchester. Mata and Matic are playing, but never mind. Matic and Match are playing, but never mind. The right player wasn't available in the summer. Exactly, Jordan. I totally agree with you on that one. I don't think you're wrong there. I think we're getting close to the second half, but it's not quite there yet. We're getting closer to 599,000 subscribers, I can tell you that. So would you make any changes at half time? Off the ball movement is poor, says Philly Guinness. Would I make any changes? I personally would take Matic off and get Garner on, because he actually is more attacking. And why, I don't rate Matic, but why are we playing a defensive CDM against a team that's not going to attack? You've got 4 defenders behind him as well. It's just overkill. Matic, should be brought off. And I'd get Mata off. Well, I say Lingard. I don't think Lingard's that creative in a low block either. So that's problematic to do. But yeah, I'd definitely take Matic off and get somebody on who has got the ability to move forward. Yeah, definitely. What's going on here now? Have you sacked the under-23 coach on Football Manager? Says Ezza for PM. No, I've changed the what do you call it? I've changed the roles. So we would be foolish to believe they will sign a midfielder. They are clueless, says Paul Banks. I tell you what, it would have been really nice to see Angel Gomez playing in this game tonight. There's a lot of people talking about that in the live comments, and they are right. It would have been really nice to see him play, but he looks like a player that we're going to let go, which to me is just really, really sad. But there we go. Players should be, well, they're not quite coming out yet. Static Matic out, says New Yaban deals. Brad Harris says Martial bag of crap. I've got to be honest, right? Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but Dave Tapgun says only Martial shot from outside the box. Also, cheers. If you're saying Martial's crap, my opinion of this, and I know some people will disagree, is you just don't understand football, because he's just not having a bad game. He just isn't. He's just playing in a team that's got nobody anywhere near him with his back to goal. It's very, very difficult. I used to play as a midfielder when I was younger, and it was, you play with, when you've got the ball, you're running forward. And sometimes in our B team, because I just used to love playing football, I would go and play for the B team, and I would play up front. And it's totally different playing as the final man with your back to goal. If you're not getting the service, it's very, very difficult. Mark here in India, the channel is showing Villa highlights beating Liverpool in the break. Seems more interesting than watching our game, says Mojo. And KG Red Devil says it's simple. Martial doesn't get any help. And also, if you think about Martial, this is a very important thing. Martial does a lot off the ball. You know those 2 balls that Pereira played over the top? One of them Greenwood nearly got one-on-one, and one of them Rashford should have got one-on-one. That happens because Martial pulls the centre-backs away to allow Rashford and Greenwood to run into. There's a lot of stuff that goes on off the ball that you don't realise as well. Looks like the players could be coming out. Somebody in the first half did say penalties might be a viable outcome in this game. I have got my pyjama bottoms on because I had a quick shower before I started doing the stream. I don't think it'll go to penalties. I think United will. In 90 minutes, when you should be scoring a goal, then I think we will. So we're off for the second half. Ernest Tabari says, people will say the front 3 have been poor, but I watch City and Liverpool forward fluff multiple chances game, but they always get more. Midfield is abysmal. Exactly. And how long before Ali starts telling us that having Pogba back is like a new signing for us? Anything to justify not spending too much this January. He's already said it, Nick. He has already said that, to be fair. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get to 599,000 subscribers tonight. 600k before Christmas. Please do subscribe. A lot of people not back in their seats yet, says Don Rule. Well, they've probably left to go to the German market in Manchester and get on the beer. I mean, could you knock it? Can Colchester manage to hold on to a 0-0 and go to penalties. I think that was their game plan from the very start. So we'll see how they get on. Ollie laughing and waving, says David Bradley. But that's what Ollie does. He does that all the time. My prediction was 3 or 4-0 Nihal. Again, just miles off. Well, you never know. We could do it second half, to be fair. But Project Spider is out tomorrow, Calvin. It was meant to come out today. We've got look, I'm going to give you a little bit of an early Christmas present. I'm going to give you 3 Christmas presents. Santa Goldbridge, this Christmas, we're going to give you 3 Christmas presents. I thought United were going to score there. We've got 3 Christmas presents for you. One on Christmas Day morning, which will be up on the channel, and one early next week, and one that was meant to be today, going up tomorrow, which is a brand new United Stand website. It's not launched yet. It's not even up yet. It's still this old shitty website that we never really use. But from tomorrow, hopefully, it's up. It's on mobile. It's on webs. It's going to be a cracking website. I think you're going to really enjoy it, and there's going to be a lot of content on there throughout from January the 1st and through the next couple of weeks. So we will be looking for writers and stuff for people to get involved as well. But it's going to be a very, very good website. You know, when the United Stand does something, we do it properly, and it's going to be great. So another place for people to get the latest United news, etc. TJ Smith, how do you beat teams who sit back all the time? Well, how does 90% of the Premier League do it? It's very easy. You've got to play the triangles and not just have everybody standing in 2 lines. Liverpool will win the league, I'm afraid, yeah. I hate to say it, but yeah, they will. Mark Van Dijk's got an illness. Yeah, I heard about that. And it happens when your players are in their comfort zone, says Ames Adamson. Punched away from an Ashley Young cross there. So United have started a... I mean, what I hope we'll see from United this second half is what we saw in the second half against AZ Alkmaar. Because remember, that was 0-0 at half-time as well. Well, Luke Shaw's just put another cross in there, and Mason Greenwood nearly getting on the end of it. So Luke Shaw's had a good game, really. He's made a really good tackle in the first half. He's been getting forward and putting crosses in. I think him and Young have been told this second half to get forward. Novo says Shaw's been great. I'm tell you what, I'm going to tweet it just to wind the people up. I'll tweet it out. It's like dropping a maggot in the pond. You look at the fish that bite on that bait. We've had a few likes and a few retweets. So, you know, some people obviously do agree and have class. I'll tell you what, Colchester just coming forward then. (1-0) Marcus Rashford, game over. That's it. Simple as that. On the break. Rashford, game over. Catching Colchester on the break. Well, it's hilarious, isn't it? I mean, it's 1-0 to Manchester United. That's the main thing. Get through, get into the Carabao Cup semi-final. I told you Marcus Rashford wasn't having a bad game. I just think things weren't going right for him. So it's a good finish from Rashford. But it all comes from Manchester United hitting Colchester on the break, which you just couldn't write it, because we cannot deal with the low block. But Colchester have an attack themselves. And then obviously what do United do? What we're so good at doing, hitting teams on the break. And look, there's people in the live comments saying doesn't solve the problem. We've just, Colchester have been naive, and they have, but it is just catching a team on the break. It's what we do. Counter attack again, says Jay Singh. Bloody hell. Welcome to Camo Mango 1704, our latest member of the United Stand Members Club. But look, this is United. This is what we are. This is what we do. We break teams, and we're very, very good at it. So you can't really Matic with the assist as well. You can't really moan about it, because it's what we are. We are one-dimensional, Lily. You're right, but we are 1-0 up as well. And the main thing for me was this second half now, maybe we can go and score 4 or 5 goals, because they will have to attack. But it is funny. I found it funny as soon as I was listening to it, because you could hear United are on the break here. It's Rashford. Rashford's going to go all the way. Rashford scores. And literally a few seconds before that, Colchester probably having their best chance of the game. So they go forward and we suck them out. Matic with an assist. I didn't think we'd live to see that. And United should sit back more on teams and counter until we get a CAM to Steve Wynyard. Well, we did say that in the first half, didn't we? That United actually should be hitting teams more. Just lure them in, I suppose. Lure them in and let them attack us. And I think that is our best way of doing things, because we are a team that really struggles against teams like that. But we've got that security blanket now. We have got that goal. So Marcus Rashford with the goal. Counter-attack FC, says Gideon. And what is the number of Liverpool? Matic playing like Pogba. Ricky's going to go crazy. Yeah, Matic did get the assist. Let's give him a 5-year contract. I don't know what people want me to say. Matic got an assist. Are you saying that we should keep him now because he managed to do something that he's actually paid to do? I think he's crap. I'd sell him tomorrow for a packet of Pringles, but fair play to him. He got an assist. What do you want me to do? I mean, he's crap. Like, he's playing against Colchester and he's got an assist. So what? He's a shit footballer. And I really, really, really hope that we sell him in January. But fair play to the guy. He's had a big part in that goal. I'm not going to deny that. But I don't really know what people want me to do when they're saying you can't even acknowledge Matic. And Colchester have just had a good chance there. They've just shot it wide. Well, they'll probably go for it a little bit now, which should leave them open at the back, which obviously gives us a chance as well. (2-0) cross from Greenwood. Marcus Rashford, 2-0. I mean, second half, United have come out and put this game to bed, which is what I thought would happen. It's what happened against AZ Alkmaar. We seem to twist and shout. Twist and shout. We seem to twist and shout a bit, Manchester United, don't we? We're either crap in the first half and then we come alive in the second half, or we're good in the first half and we fall asleep in the second half. We never get the 90-minute performance. But look, for me, the main thing is getting into that Champions League draw. Getting into that Carabao Cup semi-final draw. It might actually be an own goal we're hearing. But it's 2-0 to Manchester United. Well, I might be right with my pre-match prediction, and this is what I find interesting, is because in the second half-time, people are like, I can't understand why you're not getting so mad at half-time with how badly Manchester United played in the first half. And what did I say? Because I fully expect United to go and put a performance in the second half. And in my match reaction, I will say, that first half was embarrassing, but you go and win in the second half when everyone's like, wow, you're just moaning now, we've won. So you've always got to be careful. It's a 90-minute game. And what's happened here is we've got the goal on the counter-attack, and now Colchester are having to push forward a little bit, and that means United can just play their A game now. So it's gone to textbook for Ollie, and it's working for Ollie. And it's working for us, because ultimately, I don't understand why people don't want us to win. I think that it would be very, very nice from United's point of view to get hold of the game and score a few goals. Rashford's only got 1 goal now, says Michael Duffy. And it looks like Mason Greenwood's coming on. Lingard and Williams are about to come on, says Christopher McEwen. How come your reactions to the goals are so delayed? Basically, the game's not on in the TV in UK, so I've got MUTV in my ear, but they normally can be anywhere between 10 and 20 seconds behind. It's stunning, I know, because it is Manchester United TV, but yeah, it isn't ideal, but it's one of those things. The game's won now, isn't it? It's 2-0 yet. But it's been better from United this second half, because what we've done is instead of, well, look, it's totally different when you are in this situation where you are in front and then you're going to get all the space. Michael Sauter says, not a 90-minute performance, but before that AZ game, we were all going crazy about how bad we had been coming out after half-time. Exactly. So we've had 2 second-half performances. I'm going to tweet that, actually. Who do you want in the semi-finals anyway? And it's 3-0 now. It's 3-0 now. It's Anthony Martial. And Anthony Martial gets his goal. My boy, Anthony Martial, for Manchester United. Mata makes this with a lovely ball into Rashford, and Martial makes it 3-0 to Manchester United. Look, I haven't overly celebrated any of the goals tonight because it's Colchester. And I've just got to put a tweet out here. People who don't understand don't deserve him. Rashford, I think, has gone off now for Manchester United. I think they've made a treble substitution. So Rashford's gone off for Lingard and Williams has gone off for Luke Shaw. So 3-0, and it's amazing, isn't it, how quick it's turned around. We've only got, well, still half an hour to go. It's almost a carbon copy of the AZ Alkmaar game, isn't it? This is exactly what happened with AZ Alkmaar. First half, not very good. Second half, a blitz of goals. And I think that's a warning sign for teams playing Manchester United that we can be very, very poor, but if you start to open up against us, we will hurt you. And I don't think, again, I think we're going to come out of a game with the inability to break a low block. But what we have got, and let's flip a positive here. What we have got at Manchester United is this situation whereby if a team attacks us, they've got to be very careful about what we're going to do up the other end. So better be City or Leicester in the semis. Don't want Villa, says Sankadeep. I would quite fancy getting one of those, to be honest with you. I would quite fancy getting a Leicester or a Man City. Man City are winning 3-1, but Leicester are actually only 2-1 up against Everton, and there's still 13 minutes to go into that. So maybe it might not be a Leicester. It's 3-0 at the moment. Greenwood to start against Watford, says Seppi Dog. I think Greenwood should start against Watford for what he did against Everton. Yeah, definitely. Vandy Candy says we're in trouble if we don't score first. Yeah, definitely. And the stats bear that out. I think 13 games this season, we've gone 1-0 behind and we've only won one of them. So we've only come back in one. Garner's going to come on for Matic now. The Red Devil says it's still been a boring game. Yeah, I would agree with that, but ultimately, I'm just very happy that we get over the line and we get the game won. Hey, I tell you what, of more importance, we are 70 subscribers away from 599. Please do subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. And if you have subscribed, please share the button by clicking the share button. But we want to hit 599 tonight so that we give ourselves a good chance of getting 1,000 subscribers in a week, and then Christmas Day hopefully hit 600,000. So please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. Loads going on. We've got fan cams after the game as per usual. Tomorrow night 8 o'clock we'll be live, of course. We've got transfer news, call-ins, loads of stuff going on. So please do subscribe if you're new, and also keep your eye out tomorrow on my Twitter at Mark Goldbridge and the United Stand Twitter for the launch of the United Stand website. Christmas present to you all. Mark, love the channel, been watching for 3 years, says Harrison1704. So we've got a substitution now. It's going to be James Garner coming on for Nemanja Matic, I would have thought. Oh, he's coming on for Twan Sebi, actually. And Swirendeep says you were right to do this watch along. El Clasico was crap. Yeah, I presume it finished 0-0. Yeah, it did. I'll tell you what though. Obviously we'll have a watch along on Sunday for the Watford game, 2 o'clock on Sunday. I've got a bad feeling about that game. I do. I've got a bad feeling about it. I was talking about Flex about it today, and he's from that area and he knows some of the Watford players, and they've sort of been having a bit of banter. And I think it's going to be a tough game, that. I think, they've had all week off. They've got a new manager who's well organised defensively. I think that's going to be a very interesting game indeed. And I think that we may well see United... it'd be a very impressive result if we can get it, let's put it that way. Because whatever you say about this game today, I think that it would be wrong to say anything other than Manchester United do struggle against the low block, and they don't have the quality that we have to deal with. You can have an idea how to beat a side tactically, but it doesn't mean that that you can win the game. So I think Colchester set themselves up quite well, but you're just up against loads and loads of quality players today. in United, and there's a big gap between League Two and the Conference. I'm a little bit worried by whether Twan Sebi might have an injury. The draw is today. Apparently, it's after this game. Yeah. I purposely have been told, do not predict that United will beat Watford, because every time you predict a result, we lose. So I'm actually going to early say that we won't win, just to help people out. But no, I don't think we will. I don't think we will, and that hopefully that means reverse psychology that we will win. But I don't think we will. I think that I think it might be a draw. But tonight, you can moan all you like, but tonight was all about winning. Tonight was all about winning this game. Getting those 2 games in January. I would have been devastated if we were not in the Carabao Cup semi-finals, because there's 2 games in January now, midweek. And, January's always a bit of a long month, isn't it? Hopefully we're going to get a bit of excitement with transfers. And now hopefully we're going to get, we are going to get a Carabao Cup semi-final. And I hope we don't get Villa. I hope we get City or Leicester. I want us to be tested. We've already got a game against Liverpool in January as well. So, yeah, I hope we do get tested in those games. Otherwise, what's the point? And I thought Luke Shaw played well tonight as well. I'm looking forward to doing the player ratings. I think Luke Shaw's played well tonight. And it certainly worked playing Rashford, hasn't it, tonight as well? I think some people, let's be honest, we went very, very strong in this game in relation to the team that we've picked. And, did we need to? Well, look, I think this is the whole point of maybe signing a player like an Erling Haaland or a striker, because it would mean that you could rest a striker. I've got a new member as well, which is Cameron Shanks. Welcome to the United Stand Members Club, Cameron. And Kevin Barrett says, I'm surprised I've been watching for months and only now subscribing, for shame. But it's exhausting thinking of the work needed to get us back on top. It is. And Sean Burns says, always worry about games when a team changes managers. Yes. Yeah, look, I think Nigel Pearson did a very good job at Leicester. And I'm really looking forward to that Watford game. I think that the game's over Christmas and we'll be doing watch-alongs for all of them. So if you can join is great. If you're going to be with your family and stuff, that's fine. But of course it's fine. But we will do Watford watch-along on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Then it's Newcastle on Boxing Day, which is next Thursday at 5:30. And then it's 2 days after that, we're away to Burnley at 8 o'clock. And I think those games are going to be tough. All 3 of those teams are going to low blockers. So, and then we've got Arsenal. So I'm very excited about the games over Christmas, and I'm very excited about the new year now. Very excited to get the January transfer window open. Very excited to see who we get in the Carabao Cup semi-final. I mean, looking at the fixtures in January, let me just tell you what they are. Leicester are still winning 2-1, but let's have a quick look at Manchester United's team and fixtures into the January period. So I've spoken about Watford on Sunday, Newcastle next Thursday, Saturday it's Burnley, Wednesday, New Year's Day, we're playing Arsenal, Saturday we're playing Wolves in the FA Cup, then we've got Norwich the following Saturday, then we've got Liverpool on the following Sunday, and then we're playing Wednesday against Burnley. That's a midweek game, and then I think there's FA Cup, and then you've got to fit Carabao Cup into all of that. So we could play, I think between this is more and more. I've got to write this down as well. This is another thing that I've got to say is that Brandon Williams with a chance there, but let me just tell you when the Carabao Cup semi-final dates are. It's after Oxford versus Manchester City, the draw, and I'll tell you when they're going to be played. Oh God, computer's playing up a bit now. January the 6th and January the 27th. Bloody hell. So I thought that, to be honest. So we will play... This is ridiculous for United then. So we will play Arsenal on the 1st. Then we'll play Wolves on the 4th. Then we'll play midweek that week between Norwich and Wolves in the Carabao Cup. And then we will play at the end of the month as well. So there's loads and loads of games coming up for Manchester United in January, which I think is always a positive thing. I think if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be a success, then he's going to have to win a lot of games, isn't he? I tell you what, we must be close to hitting 599,000 subscribers. Please do subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. Bottom right hand corner, subscribe, and please keep sharing it. Been so nice to hit. We thought we might hit 600k in January, but then we were saying, well, maybe we'll do it by New Year's Eve, and then we were thinking, well, maybe we could do it by Christmas Day, which would be a nice celebration. But still Leicester 2, Everton 1. Are you doing any watch-alongs on the weekend? Callum Roberts. Yeah, so look, if you're interested in my other channel, may as well. It's still got 15 minutes to go in this game, and it's pretty much done, so we may as well open up the conversation here. I have got another channel. It's called Mark Goldbridge That's Football, where I just watch other football matches. It's also where I do my football manager career, which is Manchester United. I've done episode 1, so you've not missed anything. You can go and watch episode 1 after this if you want to, and get up ready for episode 2. Do a bit of FIFA on there and a bit of normal football news. But what I was going to say is I am going to be doing some watch-alongs this weekend. Obviously, United Stand will be doing Manchester United-Watford on here at 2 o'clock. But I am also doing Everton versus Arsenal on Saturday lunchtime, and I'm really looking forward to this. Leicester Man City at 5:30 on Saturday. So if you want to join me for that, watch-alongs for that. And I may well do Chelsea versus... Spurs after the United game on Sunday. I'll see how I feel, but I might not, but we'll see. And we've hit 599,000 subscribers. It's just changed in the top right hand corner. So thanks everyone who is subscribing. Make sure you're getting involved in the channel. Remember, we're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got all the fan cams coming up afterwards. I think Ricky's going to be on it, so look out for him. He's going to love Matic's assist, isn't he? He really, really will. Martial's pressing is world class, says Luke Haynes. He's been fantastic, Martial. I just think that's probably what I'm going to open up my match reaction with, because I think he's been really good. And everyone who's saying well done on 599k, we only hit 500,000 subscribers in August. So, and if everyone is saying well done, well look, we're going to have a couple of get-togethers next year. We will not charge you for tickets. You will be able to get tickets for the event for free. You'll just have to get yourself there wherever it's going to be. We're definitely going to do an Ireland one early year, and then we'll see about where we're going to do the next one. But thank you. You know, the channel is what it is because of you lot, because of the community. It's a fantastic community that we've built up. And we will be in America in the summer as well, for all our American viewers or anyone who's going out on tour. It will be there. And it is 2-2. It is 2-2 in the Everton-Leicester game. So that will go straight to penalties, will it? Let's go straight to penalties, yeah, for that game. Semi-finals is 2 legs, yeah. Still got 15 minutes left in this game for United. I predict. The funny thing is, I said 3 or 4-0 at half time. You never would have thought it, but I did predict it. 5 Cantonars is ringing out now. Yes. Old Trafford must... I bet it's not half empty because they'll do something with the numbers. But yeah, I'm doing the watch along for United versus Watford. Yeah, we always do a watch along. We always do a watch along. The draw is at 10 o'clock, says Darcy Harrison. Well, we'll be live for that anyway because I'll be doing my match reaction, so we'll keep an eye out for that as it happens. I'll read this one out because it is a super chat, and I'm more than I'm not scared of people making comments. So Aldo Rain has said that, Mark, you and your little buddy rants are a cancer to the club. You say you're a fan and not a voice for the fans, but you have influenced half of our fans. I think you've exposed yourself, man, really, as ridiculously naive in the way the world works. I think I actually feel sorry for you that you think that I am a cancer to Manchester United and that I have influenced half of our fans. I mean, who do you think you are that you think I can influence millions and millions of Manchester United fans? I find this ridiculous. I'm not a voice for the fans. This is a Manchester United fan channel. Anybody can call in. Anybody can have their opinion like you have just done there. I do not influence anybody. In fact, I fight the opposite. I fight the club trying to lower everybody's expectations. So I'm not a cancer to the club. I've got an opinion on the club. I share my opinion and many other people do. If you think people are so thick that they're going to just take everything I say and say that's gospel, then you massively underestimate the intelligence of the human race. So, I think you're wrong, and I think you've exposed yourself as a very bitter person. And I think that's a real shame. But you know what? I hope you get help. This channel has 600,000 subs. Man United are going to win the Copa America, says Darcy Harrison. Jay Singh, big thanks to Mark for not going to the games and being here with the fans. Really appreciate it. Enjoy your watch-alongs. Keep it up. Ignore the hate. Well, I want to get to some games in the new year, so but the watch-alongs will still happen because Drawty and that can still do them. See, like McCarthy says he's right, to be fair, but mate, only an idiot would think that. Like, how I don't really care. I just have my opinion, right? So. But it's idiotic to say that I influence Manchester United fans. It's just ridiculous because we talk about both sides. I'm not Ollie out. I've not said Ollie out. So what am I influencing people to do? To actually sit on the fence a bit? Oh, great. Well, I'm quite pleased about that, to be honest with you. So I don't know. I feel sorry for these people who are so bitter and twisted that they don't even understand what a fan community channel is all about. A little clue about the Thursday news, maybe, Mark, says Alex Billing. The website launches tomorrow. Ray Marku says, you despise Ollie, give it out. Oh, so now we're wandering into the... I love this. I mean, let's just entertain it because this game's done anyway. And now we're wandering into... Mark says one thing but is actually thinking somebody else. So now we've got psychic people in the live comments who actually are telling people what I think in my head but don't speak. This is great. What else am I thinking about? Just I love it. I absolutely love it. It's amazing. The world is full of people. That's all I'm going to say. With ideas. The pass Mata gave in the third goal is why we need a number 10, says Shady Abanasa. Yeah, it was a fantastic pass. An absolutely fantastic pass. Well, there's a good point there. United fans turning against each other. I mean, this is something that's been prevalent way before I started doing the United Stand, and nothing has changed. There is a massive issue in the United fan base, and I don't know whether it's the same at other clubs, but we love to hate. We love to hate our own fans. We love to hate our own players. I said this yesterday. The top 5 talented players at Manchester United are Paul Pogba, Anthony Martial, David De Gea, Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford. And over 50% of those players have faced abuse this season. 3 of our best players have faced abuse from our own fan base this season. That to me is amazing. absolutely amazing. But that's sort of the problems we have in our fan base. And I think actually who drives that is the club, because it's such a badly run club with so little hope that fans start fighting amongst each other. Nick Powell, great content, Mark. Keep up the good work. Who would you want to play in the final of the Europa if we make it? I'd love to beat Arsenal. I'd love to beat Arsenal in the final, to be honest. Yeah. Will Pogba play against Watford? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference will be on Friday morning, so we'll do a reaction to that and see how it goes. But no, ultimately, look, there's a lot of anger in the fan base. I'm very aware of that. I think it's very sad. I think it is toxic. But I think what I always say is that instead of thinking that fans are causing this, it's the same with AFTV when idiots on TalkSport are saying that Arsenal Fan TV divide the fans. Do you think Arsenal Fan TV could divide their fan base if Arsenal were top of the league and playing well? No. The reason the Arsenal fan base is divided is because they are crap on the pitch and their fans are angry. You cannot turn an agenda against how crap the team is if the team is playing well. Positivity breeds positivity, negativity breeds negativity, and as a football club, it's always about what you're doing on the pitch. If we were doing this in the 99 season, we'd be like Red Men TV are with Liverpool. Everybody's happy, they love their club, they love their team, they're just having a great old time. And I hope we can get back to that, I really do, because the happy times, winning the Europa League, when Ollie was first appointed, they're the best times. They're the positive times. I remember being at the game against Southampton in March, and we won it late on. I went out to do the fan cam with Flex, and everyone was just jumping around doing ollies at the wheel, and it's the best. It's the best feeling. But all negativity in football comes from what's happening on the pitch or at the club. They drive it. It's not 4-0. It's not 4-0. People are keeping up to date with the penalty shootout in the Leicester game as well. And Harry Maguire has just come the closest he's ever done to scoring a Manchester United goal. It was a corner. So will United get that fourth goal? I don't know. So James Maddison missed the first one, and then Tosson has missed the second one for Leicester. You'll probably get more of an update from what's going on in the live comments. But still 10 minutes to go in the United... Well, about 6 minutes to go in the United game. Comfortably in the draw. Man City are in the draw. Aston Villa are in the draw. Manchester United... we're not... Well, we're in the draw, yeah. Leicester or Everton in the draw. I hope it's Leicester. I hope it's Leicester, because what will definitely happen is we will get Villa, and City will get... they will get Everton, and they'll... Because the Carabao Cup's had some dodgy draws as it is in the past. So I think they'll separate us so that it can be a Manchester derby. But that's the cynic in me. Because hasn't the Carabao Cup had it before where it was a pre-recorded draw or something like that? I can't. My eyes are all over the place at the moment, so I'm just going to look in the live comments. Leicester have scored one. I think Leicester are winning on penalties at the moment as well. It'd be hard on Everton if they go out. They were 2-0 down. They were dead and buried, and they've come back and they've got a decent result. But ultimately, I would rather Leicester got through. I'd like to see Leicester win something, and they're not going to win the Premier League, are they? So they've got no European football either, Leicester. So they can afford to be, combative in the Premier League, in the Carabao Cup. But I'm looking forward to doing the match reaction and the players ratings in that. I think it's been an interesting game. How United have approached it. First half not so good, but second half again blitzing them in the 15 minutes. But United have been the better team, haven't they? And I think this. I actually do. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I actually did, when I was looking at this opponent tonight, I did sort of think, how are they here? And they have beaten Spurs and they have beaten Palace, but I still would ask that question: how are you here? How did you get here? Because we're not a great team confidence-wise, and this Colchester team is awful. So, it is what it is. You play who you get. It was a good draw for us. I remember when we got it, I was like, well, hey, we're going to get through. But United looking for a fourth here. I don't think they're going to get it. Ollie's just patting Scott McTominay on the head there. I've had a super chat here from Matta Corner now, and he's passing the third goal. Is that what we're lacking? Imagine having a number 10 that can play like this week in, week out and break opponents, says Shady Abanaza. Well, it's very difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult because we're playing a League Two side, and Matta is basically done, isn't he? He's been done for a long time. So, we all know that maybe that's what we should have been doing with Juan Mata. When we bought him 6 years ago, we put him on the wing, didn't we? That Mata should have been playing in this number 10 role a long, long time ago, and now he's too old to do it. But we desperately need a midfielder in the summer. In January, because, as I said, you look at the amount of games we're going to be playing in January now. We know February is going to be busy. So I just don't know what Manchester United think they're going to do, get out of this season if they don't sign a midfielder, because we're just so bare there. We're nearly into the 90th minute now. The draw will be happening while I'm live on my match reaction, so we'll definitely have that covered as well. But it's always about the plan A with Manchester United, isn't it? And you wonder whether we really will ever learn. And we're going to have to. We're going to have to. I think these next couple of games that we've got coming up against against Watford and against Newcastle and against Burnley, these are the games that we will have to negotiate the low block, because this is what these teams are going to do. They will do that. So but I wouldn't say, I've got to be honest with you now, we're coming towards the end of this. It's been one of the less enjoyable games of Manchester United's season, and I think we'd all agree with that. And I think that is because of the opposition. It's very, very difficult to get excited about a game where a team is just even worse than what we are, and they offer zero threat. It's a cup final for Colchester. But for Manchester United, it's been about just getting the job done, and I'm glad that we have done it. I'm looking forward to the next round and who we're going to get in the draw, because I think that's going to be interesting, so to speak. But who do I want? I want a hard team. I want Manchester City. I want Manchester. I want us to get somebody difficult. So, get in the live comments. Who are you looking to get in that next round? Because I'm happy to get Leicester. I'm happy to get Manchester City. I hope we don't get Villa. I really don't want to get the easy draw. And I would like to see us get Leicester or Manchester City and somehow be in a situation to beat them. Mark, have you seen the links with the Lille midfielder Sumar? Spurs are also interested. He's box to box and quick. I haven't seen those links. I'm aware of him FIFA looks, and I would like us to sign him. Mark, my question is, how did you see Ollie patting McTominay on the head? If you're not watching, they were just talking about it on the radio. And Leaf Hunter says clubs don't like fan channels because people have always had these opinions and debates within the fan base, but now big fan channels exist. It allows fans to voice their opinions on a much larger scale. I think that's true. Well, we've got full time there. Let me just get rid of the noise out of my ear. Manchester United are through. Comfortable winners against Colchester, who, to be honest with you, never actually offered anything, did they? But easy win for Manchester United in the end. Made hard work of it, but we'll be talking about that, of course, on the match reaction. The link should be in the video description for you, which it is. We'll be doing player ratings. We'll be talking about January, which now takes on a whole new meaning. The amount of games we've got, the January transfer window. We will be talking about that. Join me for that. The link is in the video description. I will be live with you there in about a minute's time. Thanks everyone for watching this. Player ratings and all that jazz live on the match reaction stream in about 60 seconds. Links in the video description or go through the homepage. And also we'll have the live draw for you as well. Let's see who we get. See you in a minute.